thing is how quickly we find 9 tonight.
We got a southwest start to start here, and that's good. I mean, there's a lot of open caves here. You got a couple Armos here. It's probably the most inaccessible for an Armos start being down there, but there's quite a few open caves for them to look at.
Yeah, the open caves are definitely nice, and I do know that jkoper has a timer, so we'll get that on screen very shortly. But both of our runners finding a level, so they're taking similar paths early on, and going to be interesting to see what level this is.
Yeah, it's one of the vertical ones here, and you've got a vertical shoot room. Speaking of that, and that's a second quest room right there. You got the compass on the left-hand side. The second quest 2 room is what rolled into here. Not exactly sure what the level is yet. This might even actually just be second quest 2.
Yeah, it's really interesting because there is the possibility that second quest rooms can find their way into first quest dungeon. So we'll have to see if that is the case or what exactly is going on with these flags.
Yeah, that's the big key here is that you have got to identify, because we got mixed quests. What that means is that usually, your levels 1 through 6 is going to be either first quest or second quest, and then 7, 8, 9 or their inverse of that. It's going to be the other one of the two. So being able to identify dungeons early, we got 2 of them right here back to back, is going to be paramount. So they're not wasting bombs, they're not wasting it's the resources trying to get through a dungeon they shouldn't be in too early yet. It's going to be a little hard to identify right now. Yeah, we got some guesses. Quest 1, level 8 for Coper, maybe. We got a Quest 1, 6 as a guess. Yeah, we're not going to call it yet until we really know. Fred's had enough of it. He's going to up A and just get out of there. This does kind of match how I thought they would play it early on. Coper's more of a let's dive dungeons until the dungeon kicks me out type of person. Fred will dive a little bit, but he really, prioritizes getting that sword, getting some overworld knowledge, finding the Armos items. So it didn't surprise me to see Coper stick his nose into that dungeon a little longer than Fred did.
Yeah, and I know the other thing with Fred is he knows that in these overworld open caves that he can actually find a lot of other information as well. Potentially where a viable candle is going to be, whether it's through money or whether it's picking one out of the gift shop or anything like that. So he definitely favors them, and also he favors trying to approach Armo statues as quick as possible to get that free item.
Yeah, it's a good strat. I mean, if the game is going to give you one, you might as well go get it, right? And if it's like a red ring, red candle, wand, something like that, that can, definitely help you start digging, white sword even or something, it's just such a good play to prioritize that Armos early, so I like that.
Yeah, white sword under Armos is actually a great item because it also does give you the option of grabbing that blue candle as soon as you find the sword. So there is a lot of benefits if you do happen to find the Armos statue. I think jkoper is working his way up towards the Grave Armos to check that one out. So we'll see if either of them has it, or if it's going to be over in the forest where Fred is.
Yeah, I like it because Coper's going to have the left 2 Armos here. So once he gets over to the east side, he's going to he's going to have an Armos item waiting for him. He's already found 3 dungeons. He's got some dungeon knowledge. He just needs to really find 9, find the sword, and see what the Armos item is to get his seed rolling. So Coper's got a pretty good start here. I mean, Fred's not behind or anything like that, but I do like checking this Northwest Armos while you're here.
Yeah, and something else interesting to note is if you've been playing attention to a lot of these the bracket races and even the Swiss races, you would know that the old man would say the same thing over and over and over until you get the book. Well, in the Elite 8 flags, that is no longer a thing. We are actually in instance where, Coper finds his sword, but the old men can actually deceive you and tell you a hint that actually is not true, and it's up to the players how they take that information, whether they elect to believe it or just treat it as a regular community hint.
Yeah, what's your take on that? I mean, if you get deceptive hints and you start seeing a couple of these, are you more likely to listen to them, or what do you think about deceptive?
I use them as loose information. So if I get a hint saying something like a feat of strength will lead to the recorder, and I'm starting to run out of possible spots for an item, or for a level, I should say, then I kind of lean on the side of, okay, that hint meant something, so I'll start prioritizing some of the power bracelet locations and stuff like that. But I won't take them to heart and immediately go diving for specific things, just in case, it is a lie.
Yeah, I'm with you. I kind of I put them in the back of my mind and think about them, just for a little bit, but I don't really act on them until, like you said, either late in the seed or you're a 50-50 chance for something. Then I'll act on maybe a hint or something. But until then, I don't really prioritize it at all.
Absolutely. And you mentioned earlier, before we started the race, about the plus or minus 4 enemy HP. And well, this is one of the worst enemies to roll up. We got 4 HP keys, which is just going to be very annoying in these rooms.
Yeah, nothing makes me more sad than seeing 4 HP keys, just because you're going to have to deal with a bunch of them usually in a level. It's not going to be a room of like 4 of those guys. It's 8 or 6 or that type of thing. So unfortunately, you got the 4 HP keys to deal with here.
Now, Fred did check this second armmost over here in the eastern side of Hyrule, and it is just a cave, so luckily no money to have taken away, so he is immediately going to beeline for this last one, because he's assuming it's a 1 in 2 chance, so it is going to be our item, and we have the wand, so actually an excellent find for Fred.
Yeah, when you're swordless, this is exactly why you go find that Armos item ASAP. jkoper's in second quest 6. I've kind of narrowed that down based on seeing these rooms here. But Fred now with the wand, he's going to want to find this sword, but who cares? He's got the wand. He's ready to roll. He can kill pretty much anything in the game. Wizrobes are going to be a problem still, but he can clear out quite a bit of dungeons, and he's got, actually an offensive advantage on Koper right now because he prioritized that. I don't think it's going to take long for Koper to go pick that wand up, but that's exactly why you go chase down that Armos item ASAP.
Yeah, and it looks like Koper is immediately heading to prioritize finding this Armos item. Since he has already checked most of them, why not just check the last 2? He has bombs, and we see the raft there on the coast, so that's something that our runners won't prioritize, even if they have the ladder, until they get most of their other, most of the overworld cleared off. Koper does pick up his wand, so pretty much on par with Fred now.
Yeah, for sure. The last thing these guys need, the last piece right now, is going to be finding a candle, just because they're in the southwest. That's where they started. They found all their other stuff in the forest. So walking past all these screens of burnable bushes without that candle is kind of a kick in the pants. You don't want that right now. You have to go back and backtrack. So they're going to be prioritizing trying to find this candle so that they don't have to go back over these screens later.
Absolutely. And we see our first part of the mixed quest overworld. A lot of it has seemed very first quest so far, except that one area that Fred just bombed. That is not an area in second quest, and we see a 57 rupee candle there in the southwest. So with that in the back of his mind, Fred may elect to go ahead and grab a heart out of one of the gift shops if he comes across it, if he is close in rupees.
Yeah, you get so much money in the mixed quest overworlds just because you're going to have 3 of those big ones now instead of 1 that they're used to in the bracket stages. Having 3 is just going to open up all of your resource options again. You can buy arrows if you want to. You can buy the bait. You can buy pretty much anything with 3 large secrets unless they roll super low. Koper is going to pick up a candle, though, right here.
Yeah, actually a really good pickup there for Koper because, well, first of all, we know that he did not actually see Candle Shop, but secondly, that actually allows him to stay over here in the eastern side of Hyrule, which is quite a walk from where they're starting, and do a lot of exploration through the forest.
Yeah, absolutely right. Like I said, you just don't want to backtrack in the overworld. Backtracking just takes you so much time. And when you're, down in these last few matches where everybody that you play is going to be pretty good, we're talking about Fred right here, the creator of the game, you can't waste time. You can't waste time going back across screens. So that was a very important pickup for him there.
Yeah, and we do have Fred trying to figure out where he needs to go in that level and is just going to abandon it for now. May elect just to do a little more navigating up here in the grave area.
Yeah, with 3 on top, I mean, that could have been Second Quest 5. It could have been First Quest 7. I didn't see much more than just those 3 rooms on top. But Second Quest 5 was kind of sticking out in my head when I saw it first.
I would say probably Second Quest 5, only because if it is First Quest 7, it wouldn't have the walkthrough wall like it did, because the walls actually do not transition between First and Second Quest. It is only the rooms.
Yep, I didn't see the walkthrough wall, so yeah, you're exactly right. So we've got it down to either 5 or maybe Second Quest 4, but I think 4 was near the Armos, so I think that has to be 5.
Yeah, pretty much with these blank screens, anytime you enter on any of the edges of the map, it could always be Second Quest 4, so, I mean, that's always in play, I guess.
Exactly right. Coper's going back to a known dungeon here. It's that Second Quest 6. Second Quest 6 has, a couple stairways. He's going to have the item there. He hasn't found the compass here either, so he's got quite a bit of work to do in 6. But I do like going back to a dungeon that he does have some known information on.
Yeah, and Fred did pick up his sword, so he will at least have that additional combat as well. I expect both of our runners to really favor the one, though, just because of it being double the attack, and we haven't really come across Wizrobes. We haven't seen him on the Overworld, which is nice, and Coper does get his first Triforce.
It was a nice quick Triforce. It's going to be interesting to see if he dips back in. It is confirmed there that is 6 for us, so we'll see what he does. I bet he's going to go back just because he has no items whatsoever. Yeah, I mean, 6 is not a bad dig, so he's going to go back in and see what's up here.
No, actually, level 6 is one of those dungeons that you actually prefer the second, at least me personally, I prefer the second quest over the first quest just because it's not nearly as linear. So there's a lot more exploration possibilities in level 6 without running into a nasty block without, say, the ladder.
Yeah, he knows that just the handle there, right, had that ladder block on the right side. So he's got the meat of this level, and this could be right here, his room. But yeah, you're exactly right. There's really no block because it opens up quite a bit kind of in the middle of the body of that 6.
Fortunately, nothing from that room, so he looks like he's just gonna, use a bomb and be able to progress a little bit further. And well, here's a staircase.
Now, what he really wants to see this happen is be the other side of that handle over there. It's not going to. It's going to be just below. So he can't get to the handle. He's still got quite a few rooms he can explore here, though. But what I like to see when I'm blocked is that staircase take me to the other side of it. This here is a possibility, too. He's got the bombs to kill us to Dongo. Let's see if this gives him any results here.
Yeah, the big thing is always remembering to check every single one of these rooms. And it looks like this is going to be our item, and it is the recorder, which is actually really nice to have in a mixed quest overworld.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And like you said before, kind of the minor items, if you will, the power bracelet, the recorder, the raft, those get a little more important when you start looking at mixed quest overworld. So being able to pick that up as your first item, 1, lets you grab Triforces and come back later. You can take a little more risk inside dungeons because the whistle will get you back to those. But 2, most importantly, like you said, it's going to open up some of these spots, the desert and those types of things that he can just fly through on his way in and not have to come back later. I do see Fred checking out the Forgotten Spot, and I think he took the anti-roads here. I'm not sure. I did not see those. Were the anti-roads any good for us?
I would say great. There is a little bit of benefit just because it does get you to 2 separate parts of Hyrule, but a few of them were layered right on top of each other, so they aren't going to be extremely beneficial. I think with where we've seen levels so far, actually the recorder is going to be a lot more beneficial on Coper's side than those anti-roads will be. And Fred is going to pick up this candle through purchase, so both of our runners pretty much with the same stuff, except Coper having the recorder and the Triforce out of level 6.
Coper with another level over here, and this has to be Second Quest 3. This is the bottom of the L, has the silvers for him on the ground, 1 room in. He's going to be out of here. He's going to book it, and he'll come back to that Triforce if he needs it. But silvers in Second Quest 3, that was a fantastic find for Coper.
Absolutely, and the really nice thing is with the location of level 3, it's not too far from level 6, and having the recorder, you can immediately get back there.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, you'd be able to whistle right back there. 3 is going to be super fast anyway, and because he entered from the bottom of 3, he's most likely going to have a bait block in there, so he's not going to want to go back there until he gets some bait anyway.
So, luckily for Fred, as we see a hint that may or may not be true about the book, luckily for Fred, he is in sort of the route right now that he is eventually going to go back over to the forest to burn that with the candle, and that should lead him back up towards the Lost Hills. So he will eventually get up to level 3, I would imagine. So I don't think silvers are going to be one of those items that really has Fred searching for a while. It looks like it may be the bow in this seed, even though we're only 15 minutes in.
Yeah, that's kind of like you said, it was one of the natural routing places that Fred's going to go eventually. Might take him a while, but he's definitely going to go there. It's not going to be too much trouble. It's not like under a power bracelet spot or something. It's a natural routing for him. So just a matter of time before he finds it. But we do see the whistle. The recorder is going to be hiding one of the levels in the Southwest Desert. This could be a huge find for Coper.
Absolutely, and a very early compass in here, as well as possibly a very early item, so might be a nice level depending on where we end up.
I'm not sure, depending on where he started. I didn't see exactly what screen it was. This could be First Quest 8, I believe.
Well, staircase definitely doesn't help us because, well, any of the levels could have a staircase, but it does look like it has the feelings of level 8.
Yeah, just kind of that natural flow, right?
Cooper doing a good job of using the Dodongos to refill his bombs.
It's got me second guessing. It looked like a Z there. This could be 5 right here.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always fun to try to figure out which dungeons you're in, because a lot of them share some similarities in like where you may end up in a certain part and what parts of the mini map they consume. So it's just as much fun for us to figure out as it is for the runners.
Yeah, the important thing for him to identify, though, is Second Quest 4 and First Quest 8, because it's going to have 2 items. You don't want to leave a dungeon without knowing exactly where you are, because you might miss one of them. So picking up a Triforce, taking a peek at your Triforce map and saying, okay, this is where I'm at. Let's go back in and dig now.
Yeah, that's usually the biggest benefit unless you have that book. And that was level 5.
Yep, that was 5. So when you see the Triforce there, he's got 4 lit up. And it's important to know that when you've got the mixed quest and you've got the second quest dungeons on, that 4 and 5 are going to be flipped. So even though the 4 Triforce shard was lit up there, that was second quest 5 for him, which means that that level in the grave was not 5. So we have to go back and identify that one again.
So it looks like Cooper is going to be doing his burning of the force as well. So him and Fred on the similar path here. Trying to find more information. Magical Sword there at Vanilla First Quest level 8. I doubt we'll see either runner eventually come back for that unless hearts start becoming plentiful.
Yeah, completely agree for sure. What they're doing right now, the fact that they're both kind of in the overworld, even though they have known dungeons, means they're both prioritizing finding 9. They want that info of how many Triforce pieces that they need. They both know they need the silvers and the bow. Fred needs both pieces. jkoper still needs the bow. He's got dungeons he could go back to, but the fact that he's looking for more information tells me he's really prioritizing 9 right now.
Yeah, and definitely the right thing to do, not knowing the Triforce count, because if Cooper happens to find level 9 and it is only a 1 or 2 Triforce prerequisite, he can enter and maybe gamble on the bow being there at 9, which would make this actually an extremely fast seed. So definitely not an issue for him to sort of prioritize level 9 here.
Yeah, he did the exact same thing in the match against me, and he actually found 9 on a couple Triforces, and it was able to go in. I think he had 1 maybe at the time, and it worked out that way. If you have that advantage, it's so huge because now you can go into 9, and even though it's going to be first quest 9, and you're going to have to dig a little bit harder than second quest 9, you still get that info before your opponent does, and he might be over Triforcing himself and pulling 4 or 5 Triforces, spending time in dungeons he doesn't need to. So jkoper strategy is tried and true, so we'll see if it pays off tonight for him.
Absolutely, and Fred collected quite a bit of rupees. We saw our large secret was 105, which is a little north of normal, but he found 2 large secrets and a medium secret, so he was definitely healthy in rupees. So he went ahead and purchased the blue ring while he was in the shop. You'll see a lot of runners do that because really the only other thing that rupees could definitely be used for would be perhaps bomb upgrade. You don't want to spend them on hints because you don't know if there's any valuable information in the hints, so you won't see many runners elect to buy them at all.
Yeah, especially if you're in like jkoper's position where you've already got the arrows and you know you don't have to make an arrow purchase, then even more so you want to do that because there's very little for you to spend your money on in the overworld.
So it does look like Fred is going to go ahead and maybe explore. I guess he's debating. But exploration here would be a good decision on his part because we did see what jkoper was able to get out of here, which is the recorder and a fairly easy Triforce. So not a bad decision for Fred to do a little exploration.
Yeah, I mean, he was in here once. He decided to bail because he didn't have a sword. He got the wand now and his sword, so he's back in. I think another reason that he's going to go ahead and dig through this, even though it's one of the bigger ones, he's going to identify it pretty quick, is because it's so far from where you start that if you die, the chance of you getting back to the northeast, it's going to take a while. So you might as well explore the ones that are furthest from home first, just in case that happens.
Right, and with the exploration that Fred has done so far, he has to really start considering diving some of these dungeons to find some of the items that he may potentially need, with the fact that he still needs bow and arrows, possibly ladder. Definitely wants to start examining some of these levels for those items.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm kind of shocked jkoper hasn't kind of flipped the switch and started going towards dungeons he's seen, but he is hard committing, and I think actually having the recorder made him make that more conscious decision too. He could have been doing this from the start, but I think having that recorder and just opening up those spots is making him say, okay, I'm 9 or bust right now.
Yeah, I mean, especially if he'd have power bracelet, I would be all for this, just because having the recorder, you have so many different areas where you're not going to have to backtrack now because you have the ability. And
oh baby,
recorder is required. Level 9 under Recorder Lake.
Yeah, sorry to cut you off, but I dig it. Let's see how many Triforces we need, but this was a great play by Koper.
Well, hey, we got a Pentaforce tournament.
You were out of brackets, man. Come on, dude.
Fred did find the staircase that will lead him down towards the recorder. He already seen the Triforce, so that won't be much of an issue for him to get back to. It is just a matter of getting to that recorder, which I believe was in the room south of that sea.
So little do we know that Fred's update today made all these seeds back to 5 Triforces. So we're going to have to go through and play the game his way anyway.
Until we start seeing like 2 or 3 seeds like that and everyone assumes it, and then you have one that's, you know, one Triforce.
That's exactly right. Well, the good thing for Koper right now, the positive thing for him is that he knows, okay, I need 5 of the 8, right? If he comes across a Triforce that's early in like First Quest 7, for example, he can go ahead and pull that Triforce and take off, or he can find an early item and say, nope, I'll go get the 5 Triforces somewhere else. He knows the exact number he needs. So just that knowledge, that info that he has is going to be very, very vital for him.
Absolutely. So Fred is going to continue digging for this item. He decided to up A back to the beginning. Bypassing the Triforce, we definitely see him prioritizing the item. The Triforce is nice because you do have the traps in that room that will remain as enemies. So there's no real concern that you're going to end up having to kill all those enemies again. So nice play to continue to skip them. And Cooper buys both meat and a key for exploration. And it looks like he's going to buy a second key.
Yep, I love this play. I do this exact same thing when I'm doing my practice seeds in the tournament with him. I prioritize buying keys just because you do not want to be key blocked. And now he knows he's 5/8, right? Which means that there could be a dungeon or two that he never gets into. If that dungeon has the any key, then you could be in trouble there. So buying those 2 keys is just very heads up on Cooper's part.
Absolutely. And Cooper finds another level while Fred picks up his recorder. He'll go back in for the Triforce, no doubt.
So this is 8 of our 9 dungeons here. We've only got 1 left. So let's see if we can identify quickly. Now this may be first quest.
This may potentially be could be first quest level 8, but I think he entered too low. I'm thinking this is maybe second quest level 1.
Yeah, this could be the E. That's exactly right. Of course, that's shifted over to the left a little bit more, I think. We'll see.
Yeah, I forget the placement of a lot of my second quests. Well, this map's going to tell us. Oh, no, it is.
You know what?
7.
Just get out. Just just leave. No one wants to be here anyway.
So Cooper is going to torture RBG a little bit here for us while Fred is continuing his exploration, and he'll come across level 3 fairly soon.
This is exactly right. Even if you have the Triforce, look where that spot is. Unless you find a stair in the foyer of 7 that takes you 1 room over, you don't do this. Just get out.
And Cooper going to go ahead and kill the Stig Dogger because he is blocking the path, and killing him is the easiest way. So it also opens up the room to the south, so definitely not bad decision since you can kill him. And possible item room here, or possible staircase right near the Triforce like RPG ones.
Exactly right. Fred is in 3 now, so he's going to dig this out. He's just got to kill these 2 Lamolas. This is second quest 3. He's going to get this in bounce most likely. He could, though, look for a Triforce here just because it's such a small dungeon, so we'll see how he progresses.
Absolutely, and looks like he just used the trick, killed 1 Lamola, and is going to get his silver arrows, and he's going to explore a little bit more. So we will see how quickly he can find this Triforce. Well, the compass is going to definitely help.
Yeah, let's hope it's not over in like the other part. Okay, so now he's got to hope that there's no meat block in between him and this Triforce.
You were saying?
There's always 1 in 3, and that's why I like Cooper's play to bounce out before you had the meat, just because there's always 1 there. Unfortunately, it was exactly where we thought it was going to be, and Fred spent a key that he probably wants back right about now.
Yeah, at 1 key left, definitely would have been more beneficial to save it for later, but and accidentally gets picked up by his tornado, so probably not what he wanted to do there either.
That's happened to me when I'm like marking my map on what I got from a dungeon or something. You blow the whistle to look at a spot, and all of a sudden you're riding a tornado across the screen.
And look at that, vanilla white sword.
That's a beauty right there. White Sword's going to upgrade him his A button. So just because he has, he's got a 2 point of damage B button and a 2 point of damage A button, it basically does magical sword damage when he swings them together. So that's an upgrade for Cooper for sure. And this is our last dungeon. We found them all now.
Yeah, nice little ice blue here on Cooper's side. And definitely a smaller level, so that's also nice.
Yeah, absolutely. Here's the Triforce. So what is this? I'm done guessing because I've been guessing wrong lately.
Yeah, this may be the one that I said earlier when it was actually level 7, so I'm probably wrong again.
All right. I mean, this one looks like first quest 8, but I've guessed that 5 times now, so...
Yeah, 8 is also a good consideration, considering where the bottoms were. Oh, well, this room actually eliminates 8, so
Yeah,
yeah,
no,
let's go with 1.
this is definitely 1. You're you're right before.
And I think Fred bought his meat because he's or no, he didn't return to 3. It's just the same color. So Fred is now going for. Did we figure out what level this was?
Yeah, I don't think we did. This was where's Fred right now on the world map?
I don't even remember.
These are fun, aren't they?
My mind is like 20 screens behind these players right now, so.
Yeah, if chat can help us out and hook us up where Fred is right now. I didn't see his entry point, so okay, he's in the desert. Yeah, this is 5 then.
That makes sense. So Cooper finally finds some of our Wizard friends, and well, the red ones are definitely healthy today because they don't even go down to a single bomb. And well, there's our book, which we already knew that Old Man was lying about because, well, it was a white sword item. But that is basically going to give jkoper the maps to every single dungeon. So we don't have to guess anymore.
Yeah, we don't. I don't know if I like the pickup because Coper had so much level knowledge that I think he's good with where he was, and all it's going to do is add fire to the end of his wand. So I think it's kind of a downgrade for him. Now he might need some info on a couple of the levels that were near the starting Armos spots. So maybe he picked it up for that reason. But otherwise, I think that was kind of a downgrade for Coper because of how much info he had.
Yeah, he already knows that 1 through 6 is second quest, 7 through 9 is first quest. So he has that knowledge, which I think is really the critical knowledge in these flags. It's not really what the levels look like, because someone of jkoper stature or Fred stature, they're going to know where the layouts of the dungeons and everything. So yeah, I have to agree that that's probably a slight downgrade on jkoper's side. And we do see him in level 2 now.
Fred is trying to dig out the item here in 5. We did not see it from Coper's side. We saw Coper, I believe, yeah, he got the Triforce out of it and bounced. So this is going to be new info for us if Fred finds this item room.
Yeah, 5 is not a fun level to traverse. I mean, it's not the size of some of the other levels. I mean, it's still big, but it's more just annoying just because of the layout, and it bottlenecks so horribly in the middle there.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's 2 staircases that you have to use too. There's 2 transports and your items. There's a total of 5. You've got one-way doors. A lot of times you'll get to the middle of it and it's like blocked in the middle because of those staircases. So 5, like you said, is just no fun to dig.
Fred does find another staircase here, and it is our item, and it is the right candle. So Coper is benefiting from not digging this out, so nothing hurting him there. So we'll have to see where these other important items happen to be.
Yeah, heads up play by Coper. I mean, it paid off for him this time, as it usually does. He's usually very instinctual about things, and not digging through 5, taking the Triforce and running until he found 9, and then going back and doing the sweep later is working out for him big time. He is now digging the item out of 2. There's not many rooms in 2. 2's usually, doesn't have any dead ends or anything like that, so it's a pretty easy dig. So he's prioritizing making this dig right now.
Yeah, possible that the item is in this 5 blue Dark Knot room, though. Dark Knots are never fun, but they seem to go down in just 1 sword swing, which is nice. Unfortunately, do not hold the item, though.
Yeah, you saw him using that double hit attack, so it was definitely lower than 4 hit points. So they rolled pretty low for him, and jkoper was showing off some very, very good Dark Knight combat there.
But it looks like the entrance to the right side of level 2 is going to be in the top of the level, not in the middle where he was trying to get over.
Yeah, it wasn't letting him over there. He's trying to get through. I think he's going to grab this Triforce, unless he has a way to go right from the Triforce room, but I don't think he does. Oh, he can blow a key.
And look at that.
And it's his transport. So he's not going to do that. He's going to go down to the leg here, try to save him some steps. But, man, there's another key. Now he's going to make a decision on what he wants to do with his resources.
Yeah, he could have elected to kill the Kisare and head north that way, but it looks like he's just going to see potentially where this leads him. Well, same route. But you did notice one of the things that you mentioned about, oh my goodness, in Zelda's room. But the fire is actually slowing him down as well in some of these areas.
Yeah, for sure. And that's why I don't like grabbing that. Now he's got to decide, okay, do I want to go all the way back to the top of 2, or do I want to spin this key for the bottom right-hand rune? I think he's going to blow the key.
Right, going ahead and picking up a red potion. I like this play with the second quest enemies on just because of those red bubbles. He's also up here in Death Mountain, so we know he will find his white sword fairly soon as well.
For sure. He's got a level 7 and levels 1 up here. I don't know if he's found them yet, but he should find them very soon.
Yeah, and jkoper is going to go ahead and pick up Triforce number 4. And then I imagine he'll head back in. He only has that one room at the very, very top of 2 to check. So, yeah, no doubt that he's going to go back in for that.
Yeah, so it makes me feel that level 4 is right above him. So I think this is going to be a good, very good 2 rooms for him to dig. He's never killed this guy yet. This could be, no, there's a key here. This is going to be a good 2 levels for him. Level 2 and level 4 of second quest is going to net him this item and then 2 items in 4. So he's going to get 3 items here in succession. And
well,
not need anything more than this because here's his bow. Jeez.
So I can't imagine that Cooper's going to do anything except beeline to level 9 now. The important things for Fred is, first of all, he has to make his way back to level 2 and 4. Well, level 2 primarily. And we're in level 8.
Yeah, this was 8. Okay, so this was the one that we weren't sure about just because of the layout when they first walked in. I think he's going to go just straight for the Triforce, and if he trips across an item room, so be it. It could be his ladder, which is needed maybe in 8, or in 9. But other than that, he's going to go Triforce and make 9 tell you that you need the ladder before he proceeds. Because this has to be exactly ladder for it to help him. I mean, any key could too, but I don't think he's going to be digging it, knowing that he's going against Fred, who's also very fast in this game.
Absolutely, and yeah, I can't imagine that he would be doing anything more than just trying to hunt out the Triforce. It's one of those things, you see the staircase, you take the staircase, but he'll know, like, hey, if there's a staircase, it's definitely an item. But, like, a room like this, where it could potentially be a staircase, no point in clearing that out. Just go ahead and try to get through the dungeon as quick as possible to get this Triforce.
Yeah, absolutely. And Coper's the kind that he doesn't care about a ladder. Like, he's going to make the game, like we talked about, send him somewhere else before he's, forced to go digging for that. He's just a very good low percent, very good swordless player, very good at traversing dungeons and stuff. It wouldn't surprise me if we just took this Triforce and bounced. And we do see Fred in 7. So the only thing that could save Fred here is if he digs through this 7 and it is ladder and we have a ladder block in 9, that's probably the only thing that this time commitment to 7 could really help him out. Because otherwise, he's just going to spend too much time in here looking for this item.
Well, we see one of our items in 8, and it is just the magical boomerang. No point in picking that up. So he's going to continue on to try to find this Triforce. Something to note, though, our runners really haven't ran into any horrible boss fights so far. I mean, we've had a bunch of the dongos at Dig Dogger, and that's about it.
Yeah, no four-headed Gleox, nothing like that. Not a Goma that's been blocking the path. You're right. There's been no real resistance inside the levels.
In fact, have we even seen that enemy? I mean, that boss group, or has it all been the Aquamenus, the Dongo, Dig Dogger group?
Yeah, I think it's just been, like you said, the ones you just named off. So while these guys are digging these two levels out, let me catch everybody up if you just joined us here. The real things you need in this game right now are just the silvers and the bow. The bow's in 2, and the silvers were in 3. So Fred's not in either of those 2 levels, which is very important. We don't know the 2 items that are in 4. There's 2 because it's second quest 4. We don't know the item in 7 where Fred is now. And we don't know the second item in 8 that jkoper just got the last Triforce he needed from. And then there's always 9. So the outstanding items that could really help us are just kind of like the any key and the ladder. So those could be in 4, 7, or 9, or that second item in 8. Otherwise, Coper is going to have a huge lead here right now trying to find Ganon.
Yeah, level 6 had a recorder, and it is important because, well, obviously level 9 is recorder block, but fairly straightforward seed so far, especially for jkoper, who has really just made all the correct moves when it came to his routing. The decision to really search out and find level 9 was extremely beneficial for him.
Yeah, absolutely. Just having that knowledge. And I think he's going to start taking stairs. Nope. Looks like he's just looking for Ganon. He does not care about any further items. He's got 4 keys, so he's good to go there. I think he's just listening for the roar of Ganon, and he's just going to try to win it straight up right now.
Yeah, now while he is listening for the sound of Ganon, which will tell him that Ganon is in an adjacent room, he's also going to be looking for a door that doesn't open when he clears out all the enemies in a certain dungeon. And what that means is that Zelda is actually behind that door, and that door will immediately open after Ganon is defeated, and will open even if there are enemies in the room. So it's also good information to have. Now, there are some hints that the old man can give, but of course they are deceptive, so you sort of have to take them to heart, even though in level 9, I feel that you can sort of navigate your path to general directions just in case the old men aren't lying. That's typically the strategy I use, but there is still a possibility they are.
Yeah, my ears will perk up a little bit in 9 if the old men tell me something, he's in the southwest or she's in the northwest. If if everything's equal and I haven't, explored both of those areas yet, I'm not like double backing on myself, then I'll go ahead and listen to that, and I'm a little more apt to do that. But otherwise, I'm kind of just doing my general routing.
And we do actually hear Ganon on jkoper's side. That's why you saw him bombing left there. So Ganon is actually 3 down underneath his G in stage, of course. With the randomizer, you can shuffle it from saying level to something else. So we do know the location of Ganon as Fred grabs his 3rd Triforce, the one out of level 1 here.
So Coper's going to have to take a stairway most likely now. He's going to jump in this first one just because he could not get to where he was trying to go, where Krim was telling you that he heard Ganon over there. So he's going to hope a stairway takes him. Fortunately, this one is not going to be the one he wants. And with 1 bomb, does he spin it on this wall? He decides yes.
Yeah, nothing doing with that. No point in sitting there and trying to beat out the matchup, but he is going to stay in here. Hopefully, we'll try to get a bomb drop off of one of these red Wizrobes in here. They are the only enemy we've seen so far that has potential to drop, and of course, only having one way to go in this level has to leave and re-enter that first door as well.
Yeah, you can't use the door strat with the foyer here because the foyer door is going to close forever until you leave from a different way. So you've got to go like 2 screens if you want to do this. He was trying to get a global drop off that orange Wizrobe, and unfortunately was not able to do it.
Yeah, luckily the drop for him, I believe it was the clock, unless I am just totally misremembering stuff, but if it was the clock, that at least tells him where he is on his global counter, so he knows when to kill that red Wizrobe.
Yeah, and nobody knows the game better than these two right here that we're watching, so taking advantage of all those little small things like that they're not small, they're big-time strats, and then they're able to refill your resources without having to leave and go pick up another pack of bombs or something. It's just those little things save you so much time.
And jkoper did find another staircase. Unfortunately, it did not lead him much of anywhere, but it did give him the potential for more red Wizrobe kills. So we'll see if he gets any bomb drops here to help out his exploration.
Yeah, he's having no luck at all right now on the orange Wizrobe kills with the globals, and that is just a random thing. It's something that you've got to know which ones you can kill for it, but other than that, there's nothing you can do about this.
And Fred did find one of our other meat blocks. Of course, with second quest dungeons on, there is potential for more than one meat block. That one actually may be preventing him from getting to the item, possibly over in the chin of level 7.
And from what I'm seeing, unless he can find a bomb wall, he needs to go out and get some bombs or kill those oranges that are above this room, I think, to refill. But unless he finds a bomb wall, the only room that we saw that he could go north in was ladder blocked.
So if it is indeed a ladder block 9, prepare yourselves because this is going to be chaos. Fred is actually heading back towards level 4. So potential for 2 items in there. This could be a big payoff for him or maybe he's not heading there. Who knows? It's Fred.
Yeah, he's trying to decide. He's not found 9 yet, I don't think. So he's still exploring the overworld looking for 9, and he is going back into 4. This could be the play right now, because if this is ladder and the only way for Coper to advance is north through that room, then he's got a big chance here. I still think Coper's going to be able to blow a hole west, but we'll see. And just like that, Fred says, nope.
Yeah, and Coper is currently just doing the strat of killing the red wizrobes, seeing if he gets his drop, which he finally does here. And just continuing to rinse and repeat. He did not want to leave level 9 at all.
No, not at all. He's just kind of, it's like, I'm here, I'm committed, I'm not leaving this level, which is a little bit surprising because of how close it was to your start screen. But other than that, I think it's still the correct play here.
And Fred is going to make the play back into level 2 here, which is, well, we know the right choice. So we'll see how long it takes him to find his bow. Now remember, it is in that key block room at the very top of the level. So we'll see how long it takes him to actually choose to spend the key here.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's very true. I'm seeing Coper right now beat his head against the wall, and I apologize because he's not getting bomb drops. He's not bombing the correct spots. Unbeknownst to him, I mean, you can't fault him for that, but he's just not finding the correct bomb hole. It may just be that one room there that you can go north in.
Yeah, and he's actually playing the percentages of what a level 9 in first quest normally would be. It's actually very unique to have a level 9 that does not have alternative paths to a majority of the dungeon. Now you may be ladder blocked from the single path to Zelda or whatever, but very rarely do you get blocked from most of the level by a ladder block.
This should spring him open because this looks like it's a staircase room. He's got 2 more rooms now that he can explore. I believe this goes around where he was blocked before, so this probably opens up the rest of the level. So fortunately for Coper, he's able to get past that.
Yeah, unfortunately, it has to dance around with this Patra a little bit. He does not have the blue ring like Fred does, so potentially dangerous situations when he is dealing with a lot of these enemies. Lionels, Patras, Wizrobes, all level 9. Definitely not what you want to deal with.
No, and for as easy as the combat was in the rest of the levels, this level's given him a little bit more of a challenge. It's got those Patras, it's got those Lionels firing from the middle where he can't get to him with the ladder. Your wand beam's going to get there, but you don't want to sit there and mess around while you just spent 5 minutes looking for bombs. So this is, unfortunately right now, Coper's got to just buck up and get it done.
Yeah, it does take an unfortunate death here. Now, luckily, he does know a path that, gives him a lot more possibilities on where to go. Also, probably keeping in mind where that he may need to find Zelda as well. So Fred is pretty much taking the same path as jkoper did through level 2 here as well. So he has enough keys to make it through. It's just a matter of how long it will take him to get back to that single room up at the north.
Yeah, this is totally like the logical routing of how you would do this. You explore both legs if you can. Explore the middle because it's so open. Like that very top room right there is just a bummer that it's up there.
Yeah, now the unfortunate thing for Fred is after he does collect the Triforce here, he will have enough to enter 9, but he has yet to find 9, so he doesn't know that he'll have enough, and given the location, it seems like it would be rather trivial for him to find level 9, but it may be one of the last places he checks because it is easy to forget about it there.
Yeah, exactly. You saw him using the whistle, so he was kind of prioritizing those before, but it's very easy to miss and keep routing. Like if he doesn't have done, all of Eastern Death Mountain or anything like that, he may go up there first, but we'll see. He's pretty instinctual as well, so he may sniff it out.
Yeah, now one other thing for jkoper is I don't remember if he actually picked up a potion, so he is going to have to be careful if he didn't, that he does retain his sword, because if he gets the Ganon without a sword, it doesn't matter if he has the bow and swords, he will not be able to kill Ganon.
Yeah, you do see him there potionless, so he doesn't even have the letter, he can't go buy one, so he'd have to find a take any. That's the only way jkoper's going to get a potion right now, so he does have to take way more caution in those red bubbles than usual.
Yeah, and Fred is back in level 2 now, so gonna pick up his key, and Koper finds the ladder, so everything coming up Koper in terms of routing this seed, so any potential blocks he could have had, he is over. But Fred gonna pick up his bow. He just has to find level 9 before Koper finds the correct path in 9.
Yeah, that's pretty huge, so he just has to find 9, like you said. Is he going to just kind of omit that spot and look elsewhere where you've got, more spots, next to each other, and there's 4 or 5 screens in a row that you can check? If you check the Northern Desert, have you checked, up in Eastern Death Mountain like we talked about? Does he have all of the desert or all of the forest done? So those are the things that he's worried about right now. Fred's looking for 9, but right now he's going away from it.
Yeah, now, rather interesting. I know Koper was a little low in health when he picked up that ladder, but he did decide to up an A back to the beginning. Now, normally this wouldn't be an issue because he now has a way around, but he's going to... Well, first of all, it did cause him a little time because that bomb wall did not work, but it's also going to eat up a few more of his resources just to try to get through as well.
We see Fred actually going into First Quest 8, so because he has not found 9, he doesn't know that 5 Triforces are it for him, so he has no idea right now. He's sitting here thinking, okay, I haven't done 8 yet, let's go back to what I thought was 8, find these 2 items in here, maybe grab the Triforce if I have to, but I haven't found like the ladder or anything, or I haven't found Power Bracelet, which maybe, used to find 9. Let's take a peek and see if I can find something to help.
Yeah, and at this point, if he potentially forgot about First Quest level 7 on the Overworld, he may be looking for Power Bracelet, believing that's his entrance into level 9.
Yeah, you've got to think he's digging that out, or that's on the top of his mind is maybe it's Power Bracelet, and if I happen to stumble across the ladder or the Any key, then so be it right now, but let's go ahead and look through a known level before I keep digging.
And it does, or okay, so where Koper thought Ganon was, he is not. It looks like he is actually under the E column, the second row from there. So looks like he will be able to make his way there, but not where we originally thought it was.
No, he's got to be close. He doesn't want to use this key if he can avoid it, but he's already been to the room on the right, so he might as well just go ahead and pop it. I mean, he may go to the left and see if he can go around, but yeah, he's going to go ahead and do it, because if Ganon's to the right here, but oh my gosh, Ganon is, and he needs a key.
And he does not get the drop from this room. Oh my goodness. Now, Koper does have enough money if he chooses to leave level 9 and go buy a key. He does have the money for that.
Yeah, I think we had a key shop that was like $80 very close. So if he's marked that on his map and he has a good recall of that, he knows he's 1 key away from Ganon at least. Who knows how far away he is from Zelda. What he's doing right now, instead of trying to find that key, is 1, he could clear rooms looking for a key, of course. The second thing is he could look for a stairway that takes him north of that room, which could actually get him back to it. So he's looking right now, before he leaves 9, that there's no other alternative way to get in there.
And I believe the second item in 9 is still at large too, so he could also be potentially looking for this second item and hoping that's the any key.
Yeah, if this was the any key right here, that would just be absolutely big time for him.
Especially because these are 2 more key doors, so more rooms that he potentially cannot progress into.
Yeah, this could take him north of the E, though. Let's see on that column. No, unfortunately, it takes him just a couple screens to the right, so he's almost out of places right now. I mean, no keys. He's got to find one or go leave. So his decision right now is going to be critical because he's giving Fred time to catch up.
Yeah, Fred picks up his 6th Triforce. We know at this moment any additional Triforces for him are unnecessary. And jkoper does leave level 9. It looks like he's going to recorder to a level where he knows key shop may be nearby.
Yeah, you can see him making a beeline. So he's got one marked and he's aggressively pursuing it. Otherwise, he's just going like to 6. No, he's whistling somewhere. So maybe there's a level that he didn't explore too much of. He can grab a couple keys in. He's whistling to 1, I believe, right now on Western Death Mountain.
Yeah, and there were definitely keys for sure up here. This is where he bought not only 2 of his keys, but also the bait earlier. So definitely knows where he wants to go. It's just a matter of getting there. And Fred is actually using up quite a few of his keys here in level 8. So really interesting. Hopefully able to pay off for him in finding the item here.
Yeah, he did go to a 65 key shop, so jkoper just had the money for 1 that may be all he needs because Zelda could be just to the north of Ganon where we saw that room there. So this could be all he needs. He's still in a lot of key pressure here, so he's got to hope that everything's connected past that. Whether there's a stair behind Ganon or it's Zelda herself, he really needs this key to pay off here. And one thing you'll notice is when you leave 9, all these enemies come back. Unless you defeat a minor boss, every enemy is going to be back. So everything that he cleared before, everything, all the dodging he's had to do and everything, he's got to do it all over again, which is why you really don't want to leave 9. But I do believe it was the correct call for him right there.
Yeah, at the point where he was, not a lot of exploration able to still be done. Definitely had to make the call to leave there. And Fred is actually running out of space here now. There was one room on the bottom part of the lion's head that he cannot get to because he is ladder blocked. So it will be interesting to see if that is actually the item in level 8.
Yeah, that'd be such a bummer to make the time commitment that he did in level 7 and 8 and come up empty-handed here. We didn't find that. We didn't find the second item in 8. So I mean, that can win or lose you races, and it's a judgment call you have to make. And some people prioritize full clearing the level. Some people are a little more adventurous, like jkoper is, which it looks like it's going to pay off more for jkoper this time. But it's just those little decisions in your strategy going into these races.
Yeah, and we just saw with Fred's map that indeed is the case. It is a ladder blocked item in level 8, and potential for Zelda after the Ganon kill here. Now it's going to take 7 or 8 hits here on Ganon, and jkoper does have him in a stun lock, so he is going to be able to make quick bacon out of Ganon, and I would imagine he is immediately going to check north here to see if it's Zelda, or actually goes right first.
Yeah, I've got a feeling that she's going to be very close by. jkoper's one of the best Ganon fighters in the world, so that fight did not surprise me one bit. Yeah, he was able to take him out so quickly, but I believe she's going to be very, very close by here in a second.
Yeah, jkoper having to spend the heart there to get back. Not really that big of a deal just because of where he's at, but looks like Fred is going to pretty much full clear everything. He is back in level 4 to do some exploration. Now they can take out this Goma, but it's going to be a little too late for Fred with jkoper only needing to find a path to Zelda.
I gotta think Fred's map is dry, and he just hasn't checked, First Quest 7. Like, that's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, and here it is, one room up and one room to the left, and this is going to do it. So get your GGs out. jkoper is going to be our winner with an official SRL time of 59 minutes and 37 seconds as Fred finds the red ring.
Yeah, that is, like I said, it was pretty instinctual for him to check those. I mean, you're always going to check as soon as you kill Zelda, but it just, you had that feeling based on how that 9 was playing out. He had so many transport staircases that were still around that she was going to be very close by to where you killed Ganon, and there she was a couple rooms away. So GG jkoper made all the right plays, all the calls that were necessary this game, and everything worked out in his favor. So it was very well played by jkoper.
Absolutely. And with that, I will also make an announcement that immediately following a little bit of setup, and once Fred finishes his run as well, we will be treated to actually basically a scrounge match right afterwards between the victor here, jkoper, and Antlers.
Are we back to back? Are we live? Are we doing this?
Yeah. I believe that is indeed the
Let's go,
plan.
man. Heck yeah, let's go.
So we will go ahead. We will have a little bit of setup time, as well as we don't want to take anything away from Fred. We want to watch him be able to finish as well, because, well, not only is he the creator, he is an amazing runner, and he has put on quite the show here during this tournament. So definitely want to give him the respect he deserves to finish out the seed.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. We are trying to get jkoper in here, since we will have a little time, though, so we can interview him as well. So if you're just jumping in and you want to kind of say, okay, what happened here? How did jkoper beat Fred, where Fred's not even in 9 and that type of thing? What you saw was Fred really prioritized digging any dungeon that he found. He was trying to find 9. We're not sure if 9 just eluded him, as far as he didn't mark first quest 7, or he just kind of overlooked it and he's looking for power bracelet thinking 9 is power bracelet block, or what, because the amount of time that he was in 7 and 8 and going back to second quest 4 to find items makes us think that he's looking for power bracelet. But and that happens, right? I mean, everybody's done that. We're not making that wild assumption. There's some validity to that for sure.
Absolutely. And we do also have jkoper in here with us, so good game. That key eluded you for a little bit, but good game nonetheless.
Yeah, thank you. It was very stressful. And of course, the most stressful moment might have been when that door locked me in with those whiz ropes, and I'm like, I just want to check that other door, please.
I was getting worried for you because your globals were not dropping in 9 at all, jkoper.
Oh no, that was awful. That was
I was like
horrendous.
counting them. I'm like, man, that's like 6 or 7 that he's missed.
Oh man. Man. So I don't know the story of the race, but I pulled it up and I see that Fred is not in 9 and he doesn't have the ladder. So I don't know if he's been in there or what's going on with him. But yeah, that was crazy. I would have guessed that the key to me winning this might have been keys, but I see that he has 5 of them somehow. Like, because I bought 2, I guess. Maybe I shouldn't have even bought the bait. I bought the bait in case I was going to go back into 3. And, you know, it could be you needed in 7 too, but that'd be unlikely. But maybe I should have bought 3 keys instead. Because second quest 1 through 6 and first quest 1 or 7 through 9 is the worst combination for keys. So that issue didn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, Fred's actual hang-up right now is for some reason he has avoided first quest level 7, the recorder lake. We don't know if it's because he believed he checked it already or if he's just forgetting about it, but he actually hasn't seen level 9 yet.
Yeah, that's pretty unfortunate.
And the other thing that you noted about possibly level 7 needing a bait, the bait, it does have a bait block in it, and it does look like the bait block's blocking the chin of the demon. So there's a possibility, crazy. Yeah, that the item's being bait blocked as well.
Huh. Yeah, I was really hesitant. I'm sure you had some awesome commentary from Redbird Grad on level 7 here. I was hesitant to go in there, but when I got compass, just a few rooms, I'm like, I'm gonna see if I can grab the Triforce and see if I find the item along the way. But then once I took the death to those landmollusts, I should forget it, and it worked out a lot better that way. So
I think it was pretty heads up because you just had so much of the seed still ahead of you to just bail out a 7. You can go back to it. You knew where it was. You've got recorder at that point. I mean, it made sense for you to do what you did there.
yeah, though recorder wouldn't have helped me get back there until I found level 1 right next door, of course.
1 beside it. Yeah, for sure.
So that worked out pretty well.
I mean, it seems like, you know, every major decision you made as far as when to dig, when to look for dungeons. I mean, at the beginning, you kind of prioritized 9, and we saw that because you had some known dungeons you didn't go back to, and you were like, okay, we're trying to uncover 9. Everything that you did pretty much turned to gold here. It was just a very well routed, very well run seed.
Thank you. I appreciate that. But I think the main reason I didn't really consider going back to the dungeons was none of them seemed like obvious places to go. Like, I wasn't even sure what half of them were, and they didn't seem really easy to navigate. So it definitely worked better putting those off until I had more resources, for sure. It wasn't that long until I got the book, and that obviously makes everything a ton easier, having to figure out where you are and where you're trying to go. So, man, I feel bad for Fred, though. That's a unfortunate way, and I also feel bad for you guys and the people watching this race that you didn't get to see both of us try to navigate that 9, because it was pretty rough on me.
Yeah, you gave him a little window there when you were looking for the bombs, that when he grabbed that 5th Triforce, if he would have checked Recorder Lake right then, it would have really been a race. I mean, it would have been probably 30 seconds, 45 seconds finish, that type of thing. But he went straight into 8 after getting that 5th Triforce. I mean, he didn't know how many he needed, of course, because he hadn't found 9. But just the fact that he didn't go straight there meant that you had all the time in the world to finish 9.
Yeah. So I'm guessing he has Red Ring from somewhere, probably.
Yeah, you pulled that in 4 after the fact, like way after this was decided.
Okay. And not much else interesting that I didn't get, I guess. No any key, no potentially required items. So, I don't know. For me, it was I was obviously nervous the whole time. I don't know why I enjoy this so much when every time during a race it's just, how do you, like, complete terror the whole time, basically? I don't know.
I can echo those sentiments.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very anxiety-inducing for sure.
Yeah. But it's still fun. So, but yeah, on the other side, I've forgotten to check a spot or mismark my map and things like that, and those things are obviously even more frustrating. And it's ladder blocked. That's the problem.
Yeah, he's ladder blocked east, isn't he? I mean, that bomb there pretty much might turn him away from 7, which is the best thing that could happen, but too little too late here.
He needs to leave 7 and go to 7 instead.
Exactly, right. Yeah, there's no way to get through, so we're ladder blocked here. There's probably like power bracelet or any key behind here, but either way, we think it's just a map mismark that's going to be the difference right now.
Yeah, at least he avenged me from those land mollas.
True.
Appreciate that.
So double dipping here with antlers. What came about there? I mean, you're gonna take both of them on one night? Coper? Bueller?
Sorry, sometimes my thing doesn't work.
No, you're fine.
I should just turn off the push to talk. I don't feel like I need it that much. But anyway, I only have a couple days here where I can stream, where it's really convenient for me. And after that, I'll probably be going back to my parents. And I prefer, if I can, to not even set up my computer there until I move again. But that's the future is very uncertain. So I just want to get as many things in these couple days as I can, and then not have to worry about them for a while.
Yeah, totally makes sense. And I mean, chat was pretty stoked when they saw that. So good luck in that race as well. We'll let you go take a breather and kind of relax. We're going to follow Fred through the end of this, and I think we're going to have some setup time and stuff. But anything else you want to comment on here?
Oh, no. Yeah, I'll be ready to go pretty quick. Obviously, I'm used to doing races all night. Just need to get a little break to kind of rattle this one out of my head a little bit and get set for refocusing on the next one. But yeah, I'm glad that we get to do that. It's fun. All right, see you in a bit.
Yep, see you, Coper. Thanks, man.
Yeah, and as we were saying, definitely stay tuned. It will be following right here on Speed Gaming. So we will have both jkoper and Antlers going against each other in more wonderful Elite 8 flags. And we got a good commentary crew on that one too. So stay tuned for sure.
So chat earlier just asked, who's left in, what do the brackets look like? And we could throw the bracket thing down there if somebody wants to do that for me in chat. But basically, Saber is waiting for the winner of myself and Fury up in the Elite Eight, the Final Four round. So that's the winner's bracket: Saber, Fury, and myself. And then down in the other bracket, let me see real quick. Looks like 8gen is waiting for the winner of the Antlers and jkoper match. jkoper just advanced against Fred. We saw this now. So jkoper and Antlers are going to play for the right to play against 8gen. Then we still have Ice Blue and Jam Evil, who are playing tomorrow night. Winner plays RC Drone. And Chest Jerk and Breasticle are the other two in that side of the bracket as well. So not many left, not many Z1R races to catch up on and to watch. So we're getting down to the nitty gritty now, Krim.
Absolutely, and definitely been a fun tournament. As stressful as they can be at throughout running the thing, definitely been a joy to watch, to see all the runners, especially new runners. We've had our share of new to tournament runners who have done really good this tournament, so it's been a joy to see. And I know that others are working on having a mini style tournament, as well as, of course, the battle royales that you and Random Effect have started. So it's great to see the Z1R community grow as much as it has, especially over just the last year and a half. So it's been a lot of fun, and I know that even though he's still beating his head into his own creation right now, Fred's sentiments are the same, that he definitely appreciates all the support that he has gotten.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really cool to hop into Discord and see somebody new almost every other day now. Just say, hey, this is doing our thing. How do we do it? What flag should I start with? And it's just the community has grown by leaps and bounds, and everybody's willing to help everybody out. It's such a good, wholesome community to be a part of, and it's a lot of fun. And thank you and the rest of the admin team for putting this together, because you guys always host a great tournament, and no issues, anything like that, no drama, nothing that you see in a lot of other games and stuff. It's just good old-fashioned bunch of people getting around playing video games with people who like each other. It's great.
Definitely appreciated. So hopefully Fred does make his way back down to vanilla level 7. Now, I do know Fred personally. When he tracks, he actually does not track each of his spots on the overworld. He just writes on pen and paper where everything could possibly be, and I think you've realized it, because here he goes.
Yeah, he just got it. He is going to kick himself on this one for sure. He threw some fire in the lake just because he knows.
Yeah, so what's actually going to be really interesting here is to see how quickly Fred is able to make his way up to where Ganon is. Now, his resources are a lot healthier. 6 keys should be more than enough as long as he finds that bomb hole that he needs to get to the north. But definitely good with resources. So we'll see how quickly he is able to get up to where Ganon is located, or, well, in his case, Zelda is located.
Yeah, and he's going to explore pretty much the exact same path that you saw Coper explore. It's the bomb hole he's looking for, Chad, is going to be on the right side, past a staircase. He's going to go north. That's going to be pretty much the only way you progress here. So Fred hears Ganon right now, but unfortunately we know he's not going to be able to get to him yet.
Yeah, going to do a lot of the same searching that Cooper did. Realize that this is the shoot room, so may potentially deduce that, hey, that's got to be my path to the north because, well, it's, you know, a shoot room, and shoot rooms always act like that. So
very well could. And Saber's saying in chat, what if he grabs that ladder and goes right back to 7?
yeah, unfortunately. Well, I shouldn't say unfortunately. Fortunately for Fred, once he finds that ladder, he knows level 7 won't have anything important.
Yeah, there's nothing in there for him. He's got the silver, he's got the bow. He's good to go. There's nothing in 7 for him. And the nice thing when you're in a level like that too, and you see you have a ladder block, you know the ladder can't be in there. So he could have wrote off 7, but unfortunately he was just kind of like triple confirming that he was not blocked in some other way and just wrote it down as a ladder block there.
Yeah, and there's potential Fred will see the second item here in 9, depending on the route he takes and what staircases he sees. But the 3 items that we aren't going to see in this seed are the power bracelet, the heart container, and the any key. So 2 of those are actually really good items to have, but we won't come across them at all.
I think it's heart container in here just as the last troll.
Especially because the old man who's robbing you is in here, and he takes heart.
He takes a heart.
Yeah.
That's right.
Now, Fred doing the correct thing here and clearing out this room. We know that this has a staircase that will, this will have a staircase, but it will sort of lead him to an area that will sort of tell him, okay, still need to go somewhere else.
Yeah, I will. Chat, you can get with us here, but I will predict Fred's final time on this one to be 1:21:30. Shouldn't be too long after this.
Nah, he sees the ladder block there. See if he updates, or no, he is going to go back and bomb up here, which is what he needs to do. Yeah, his path is actually going to be a little bit quicker than Coper's was. So had he not forgotten about Recorder Lake, this might have been actually a really interesting seed.
Yeah, I mean, it was a natural bomb hole that I think even jkoper knew he just didn't have the bombs. It was just, you see the ladder block there and you're like, okay, I gotta get north of that room. The only thing I can do is bomb north. I mean, it was one of those natural reactions to what you should do. Unfortunately, you just didn't have the resources to get it done. But yeah, it could have been very close. When I told Coper is probably a 30-second, 45-second if Fred goes right into 7 with all the problems he was having. I mean, I think it really would have been.
Now, we do know from jkoper's path earlier that you weren't able to bomb there, but if you were, that would have been a really interesting way down to Ganon. Because I think you would have been able to go left and then down into Ganon's room, and then also know that Zelda's right there as well.
It's so interesting, too. They both up-aid there. I mean, they know where the ladder block is, so they want to go through that ladder block. But I just don't know if it's quicker just to go back down and around, but maybe not.
Yeah, Fred's going to run into the same unfortunate realization that up-aing was not actually the correct play because, well, the ladder block wasn't really a ladder block at all. the true deception in this seed.
Exactly. So this will be the final game for Fred. Fred is going to have his second loss here and knocked out. Unfortunate way to go. I mean, and just kind of losing track of a level like this, it's a bummer anytime, especially, you know, to such a high-powered player like Fred. But let's not take anything away from Coper. I mean, I think even if Fred would have, you know, not had that, Coper just played this seed very well, Krim.
Absolutely. Coper did such a great job at it. It was actually very reminiscent of his match against you, where he just found a lot of stuff at the beginning, able to find 9 by actually actively seeking it out. And this time it definitely paid off for him, able to find both the bow and the silver arrows before entering 9. So, I mean, Coper's routing's there, and it does sometimes just come down to luck. But really, at this stage in the tournament, luck does have to have some factor into it, because all the remaining runners are exceptional runners.
Yeah, for sure. There's definitely that piece as well.
Like, I know I'm not in this tournament. Well, I haven't been in the tournament for a little while, but I know I could go up against any one of you and just get clobbered. Like, the winner's bracket, the remaining matches in that winner's bracket are all going to be exceptional, and I can't wait to see any of them, including yours. You've actually been one of my favorite ones to watch so far, so there is that.
I appreciate that. I don't know what I'm doing right or wrong, but I appreciate that. That makes me feel a little bit good. I've put so much work into this in the past few weeks. Anybody that's watched my stream that's all I've been doing, and almost to a detriment, just because I've just been like, what am I going to stream tonight? Oh, let's just stream another practice seed. Let's do another practice seed. I've just been doing them like crazy. And still, like you said, Rando's Rando. I mean, Coper almost knocked me off. He was a bow away, you know, from beating me last seed. So anything can happen. I think you do have to put the work in, but man, these flags, dude.
Yeah, for sure. Fred goes right as well, but I doubt it will be very long before he makes his way to find the kidnapped, which happens to be Ganon in this case. But yep, able to bomb left there, so we'll see the shutter door open and make his way in. And Fred is going to finish with an official SRL time of 1:22:35 as he bombs Ganon as well. So we'll see if Fred wants to join RBG. I'll let you go ahead and do the interview for that, so I can get this next race set up.
Yeah, not a problem. And we are actually joined pretty quickly by Fred. Fred, sir. Vanilla 7. Vanilla 7.
Yep, one spot I completely neglected.
Yeah, we were this. I'll tell you what. If not for that, this was a 30-second race. Unfortunate for you that you kind of omitted it, like you said.
Yeah, it happens. It's sometimes just take the wrong turn at Albuquerque, and that's pretty much what happened there. Knew I should have taken the right turn.
Right. Well, I tell you what, like, it is kind of cool because if you watch this back, there was such a dichotomy of your guys' styles, because I think jkoper took more chances and he dipped out of dungeons that you were clearing more of, like level 7 and level 8 and those types of things, and he dipped out. And ultimately we found we needed a ladder that he was very fortunate was in 9, because if it was in a 7 or an 8 or something that you dug through, even level 4, second quest 4 that you went back to, you could have got right back into this, you know, even just now realizing where level 9 was. He got in there he had the knowledge pretty quickly of what he needed, but he jumped in without the ladder, and just fortunately enough, the ladder was in 9.
Well, it's a good it would have been a good gamble to make. I mean, you know, jkoper's an incredibly tough opponent, so you know, take him. He knows he can take some of those gambles and, you know, have them pay off at times. And, you know, if I'd found 9, I might have made the same gamble. I'm not really sure if I would have done that or dug some of the other levels. So, it worked out great for him. So good for him. Good luck for him in the future, because this is an incredibly tough tournament. He's an incredibly tough competitor, and easily he could make a good run here, still in the bonus bracket.
Yeah, and Chester has a hard-hitting question here. He wants to know, why would you just not go straight at Albuquerque? Why do you make a turn at all?
You'd be surprised. Sometimes if you take that left, you go straight. You tend to, most of the time, I find myself end up in the dead woods. I get completely lost there, and then I'm in trouble.
I think jkoper did jump back in and join us.
Hey, Fred. Just wanted to offer my condolences again.
No worries. Congratulations. You played well. You were able to actually find level 9, and you're an incredible competitor, and I'm hoping to see you make a good run here in the next round. So best of luck.
Yeah, thanks. I wish you could have experienced it with me, because it was a lot more fun with fewer resources, I would say. I had to leave and buy a key at one point, and with no red rain, it was interesting.
Yeah, Coper's 9 was a little bit of a journey for him. He was bomb blocked initially, and then with all the orange wizards around, none of them were giving him bombs on any globals. Then he got all the way up to Ganon's room, and you had to use that key to the right to get into Ganon, and he didn't have a key. So he had to hunt for a key in 9, or the any key, couldn't find it. And then, unfortunately, just had to go out and buy one, and he knew where one was, and went to the overworld, grabbed a key, and came back. So
keys were a good price, so yeah. As I said, definitely is the strategy. I had it back in my mind if I needed to. It's part of the reason I up-A'd when I discovered that the bait block was not blocking, in fact, the power bracelet that I thought was blocking 9.
Yeah, I bought 3 keys total through the run, because I expected it to be an issue. And I thought that maybe that was a factor in me winning, but it really had nothing to do with it. It was just you're not checking one spot. And I know how that feels, so that's terrible. But
happens.
Hey,
I'm actually not that upset about it. Aside from those issues, played well and everything. So hopefully here going forward, as I said, you'll be doing well in the tourney, and hopefully in the next one I'll get to you in the finals and take you on again. Hopefully we'll give them another good race.
Oh yeah, you've had your the better of me in the past, so this is my first time, I think, on the good end in a tournament, as far as I can remember. But anyway, thanks for all you do, and I'll talk to you later.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, RBG, for the commentary, you and Krim, and thanks a lot to everyone out there, and we'll see you soon.
You got it, man. Yeah, GG's, Fred. Well, that does it. Krim is off, setting up another hype race for you guys. We have a back-to-back here. jkoper is going to get right back in the driver's seat, and he's going to go up against Antlers in the next step here in the bonus bracket. So we're moving right along in this tournament. There's not many left, but we're going to double team this tonight. We're going to have some jkoper action back-to-back, which is going to be fantastic. Do have a pretty hype team that's going to be joining you here in a second. I don't have the full roster here, but guarantee you're going to love it. jkoper Fred lived up to it. I mean, it was one unfortunate, level 7, vanilla level 7 spot that decided it. But before then, you saw exactly what we thought we were going to. I mean, this, like I said, was a 30-second race that was going to come down to the wire. So, jkoper and Fred, they everything we thought at the beginning of this race is exactly what we thought at the end of it, what we got at the end of it. So I am actually going to sign off. It was a pleasure, commentating this one with you guys. It's a pleasure, Krim. I know you're setting up for the next one to sit down with him. Thanks, Speed Gaming, for all you do. And they're going to host us for another one. So thanks for continuing doing what you're doing. So for the night, guys, I'm going to join this one, grab a bucket of popcorn for the next one. I'll be in chat with you guys. Sayonara. Peace out. And here comes the A-Team.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Speed Gaming. As you can see, we are going right into our next match here. If you were watching earlier, you saw jkoper just take on and defeat fcoughlin, and now we're going right into the next match, which is going to be jkoper versus Antlers. And don't think the road's getting any easier, because the winner of this match has added Genos waiting for them. I'm the Greenleaf Effect, and with me tonight is going to be Nerestra.
Good evening, TG.
How are you doing, my friend?
Doing good. A little bonus bracket racing tonight.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. We got a little link, a little trogdor. We got all of the action. So I'm going to ask you this question to start with. If you're looking for the bow in this seed, where are you looking for it?
I don't know. I never find the bow.
All right, so the bow is going to be in 7. You heard it right here first, folks. But all joking aside, thank you all very much for watching. And as we said, this is another one of the Elite 8 flags. So for those of you who are watching this live right now, you know what you're getting into because, well, you just saw this a minute ago. For those of you who are watching the lovely video up on YouTube, well, Elite 8 flags, there's some fun happening with the Elite 8 flags, isn't there?
Definitely. So first thing we start off with is mixed overworld. So all sorts of bomb spots, flute spots, power bracelet spots may or may not be active.
Yes, that's a possibility of 10 recorder block caves, 7 power bracelet blocked caves, 2 raft block caves, and 2 possibly ladder blocked caves.
Along with that, the other important piece here is it's a random Triforce entry into 9. So normally our runners are looking, have been looking for 5 Triforces. Now they're just looking to 9 to figure out what they need.
I've seen some races be 0. I've seen some races be the full Monty, and that's always going to be a fun one to take care of. The other thing now is, for those of you who've been watching the original rounds of the Pentaforce tournament, the book was the translation that allows you to get hints from the old men. Well, that is no longer an option because deceptive hints are on, which means there's a 50% chance they're telling the truth. There's your 50% chance they're lying, and the book now has a new feature, and Nora, that feature is
the Atlas. And that is important because now we have introduced mixed quest dungeon or mixed dungeons. So you could have first quest 1 through 6, or you could have second quest 1 through 6, and then 7, 8, and 9 will be the opposite of that.
Yes, absolutely. So the book will reveal all the maps. And the reason they are grouped in 1 through 6 and 7 through 9 is because in the 8x8 grids, or the 16x16 grids that the dungeons are laid out on, 1 through 6 are on one 16x16 grid, 7, 8, and 9 are on the other 16x16 grid.
And so really the final piece of the puzzle here, TG, is that key items can still be in 9.
Well, that is absolutely true. But there's also one other key piece that we forgot to mention. Because of the fact that we have second quest dungeons in play, that means second quest stairways are in play, as are walk through walls.
Those are always fun. We're going to start off kind of up.
Oh wow. That's super, super generous. White Sword is the Armos item. So not only is that going to give it so that they can, kill some things, but that means when they find the wood sword, they can take the candle.
Oh, definitely. That's a great early pickup. The only thing that might be better than that would be the wand at this point.
No, but both of them are going to find a level here immediately, and jkoper are going to have the massive, massive advantage of, well, 1, a weapon, 2, it being the white sword.
And the disadvantage of it being whiz ropes.
Well, you say disadvantage, I say entertaining.
Now, enemies and bosses do have plus 4 HP.
Antlers finding the red ring. This seed is all kinds of generous right now. I love it. This seed is bananas, is what it is.
And 142 for the Lars.
This is the most generous beginning of a seed ever.
Oh, just wait.
Yeah, there's always a catch. Well, we're gonna get a bomb purchase, no candle from Antlers, which means unfortunately bad for him because he doesn't know that the white sword's literally one screen below where he is.
I still don't mind the pickup there. Definitely going to pick up a pack of bombs as well, though.
Oh, absolutely, those are huge pickup right there. And we have a hint telling us Goma creeps on Death Mountain. That could be true, it could not be true. And oh, Antlers is screen scrolling away from the Armos item, which means unfortunately no white sword right now. Right. jkoper going to use one of his keys, and we've had a couple of hint rooms. So that tells me this is at least a later dungeon. Could be 5, could be 7, because definitely one of the later dungeons. Could,
Antler's finding the second large secret. I don't even know anymore.
Well, we don't need to purchase a blue ring because we've already found the red ring. Antler's going to go ahead and scroll over here and get rewarded with his white sword. Yeah, this seed is just crazy.
We're going to have something silly like Wrath blocking 9 or something. So Antler's finds the any roads.
Nothing wrong with any roads, and this feels like it's a first quest level 8. So it looks like we're going to have first quest levels 7, 8, and 9.
And so if this ends up being first quest 8, this will still have a second item in here.
And it could potentially be in this room. Because this is a second quest staircase room. But it's not. So, continuing on here, we do have a way to go south. Antler's going to use a bomb here to make his way farther south into the area, into what we believe, again, is vanilla, or first quest level 8. And we have lots of Wizrobes, but it does not appear that they have rolled high. So those are either 3 or 4 HP red Wizrobes.
He's rewarded with the compass here, and see if he can get through to the Triforce.
Get on through to the other side. Always nice to see a key, and I believe both of our runners have figured out that this is level 8, so both of them are going to be going ahead and trying to find their second item here, and Antler's just going to have a chance to do it right with this room, and unfortunately it is exactly what he's looking for, and it is the raft. So good news for him is that raft is going to open up a potential 2 spots. Better news is the raft is one of those items where you're happier to find it earlier because it's one less thing you have to worry about, and you're not disappointed when you find it. Oh, it's the raft. I really wanted the bow.
Yeah, and it's always good to find your movement items as your first thing. So our runners definitely looking for recorder, power bracelet, raft early on to just knock out spots and routing.
Yeah, it's definitely a nice thing to be able just to knock those into the middle of a route, not a problem. And good news, it's an easy room because it's keys. Bad news, we have some hefty keys here. Those are at least 3 HP. And they are 4 HP keys. But Antler's going to go ahead and pick up the first Triforce of the match here. Going to be the Triforce out of level 8. jkoper going to get a heart container, and he's also going to go ahead and pick up the raft here in this room. We have a greedy old woman wanting Antlers to pay for the door repair, and Antlers is like, yeah, no, thank you. I'm just going to run off and keep my money. Couldn't get the up A there in time, so just gonna go with that. And now this is where the mixed quest Overworld comes into play here, because that could have potentially been or not been something. Turns out it's got a bait, bomb, and candle shop. It is a thing to note for the bait shops there, because with first quest 7 through 9, there is one hungry gorilla, and if we get second quest 1 through 6. There's also going to be another hungry gorilla, so bait going to have potentially slightly more use here in this option, as opposed to just when things are all vanilla.
Definitely. And after our weekly last night here on Speed Gaming, Antlers decided to go ahead and quickly check the raft spot, as that cost him some time in that race, and we find that a quarter is our toast item.
Yep, I also like to point out the fact that we have a minimum price blue ring with a super accessible red ring. Of course it works that way, doesn't it?
I mean, yeah, sure. You like that kind of thing.
I mean, I'm always in for Schadenfreude, and you know this. One thing you may notice that we didn't get a chance to touch on in the open here is there's some bunnies and some Gibdos and some Stalfos on the Overworld.
And there's the Wood Sword Cave.
Yep.
Or the Blue Candle Cave in this case.
Exactly. But yeah, we do have shuffle enemy groups on, so that underworld enemies can appear in the overworld and vice versa. You see there's ropes. It looks like a good portion of the underworld enemies rolled here onto the overworld. We've seen ropes, we've seen Stalfos, we've seen Gibdos, we've seen Pulse Voice. There are a couple enemies that will never end up in the underworld. Octoroks, because their projectile does crazy. And look at this, we've got a white sword item, Power Bracelet. It is more than 4 hearts. The Octoroks, again, can't be underworld because of their projectiles. The P-Hats can't be underworld just because they're obnoxious. And I remember when the P-Hats were in the underworld shuffle. Oh, that was bad. That was bad.
Yeah, just the thought of that. No P-Hats.
What about Patra?
Everyone's favorite orbital enemy, Patra, hanging out with Antlers here.
Wait, you're sure that's everyone's favorite orbital enemy?
I mean, it is the only orbital enemy in the game, so...
Well, you didn't specify the game. I mean, because I was a big fan of Planet Man from Mega Man. And yes, there is a Planet Man in the Battle Network series. Fight me. Chat wanting to make all enemies P-Hats. That's always fun.
Wouldn't you like that map?
I bet you'd like to have more map. That might be my favorite new trolling location. Also, the thing most people hate about Second Quest, red bubbles, which completely disables your access to the A button.
Yeah, the only way to get rid of that is drink a potion, get hit by a blue bubble, go to a fairy fountain, or up A and save.
Forgot to pick up a Triforce.
Oh, you can pick up a Triforce too. If you're Redbird Grad, apparently you can pick up a sword too.
Just for those of you who might not be in the know, Redbird thought that you could pick up a sword upgrade and go ahead and get your sword back, not realizing that he hit a blue bubble on the way to the sword. So Antler is going to try and make his way through here without burning a key, but looks like he's going to have to do that. jkoper in the exact same room. That room treated Antlers a little better than it treated jkoper. Well, we have more spinny boys.
Well, the good news is it doesn't look like the red dark nuts rolled up, at least. Oh! There's a wand on the floor here.
A wand on the floor here? Does that mean we're in one?
I was just going to grab the Triforce, so we'll definitely be able to confirm it.
Both of our runners are going to go ahead and pick up the Triforce here. But yeah, I believe that would be second quest level 1. And Antlers has a 50-50 shot now of picking up the power bracelet when he gets to it. jkoper, on the other hand, if he picks up this heart, which he is going to do, is now guaranteed to pick up that power bracelet. And for the record, I would like to point out, for those of you who are wondering about my commitment to level 1 in letters, it's letters. You can draw out the entire E, and I'm still not sure entirely it's a letter. Okay, that's nothing against the game, that's just on me. jkoper going to go ahead and find his recorder on the coast, but unfortunately, we are still ladderless in trying to find it. We haven't even found level 9. We don't know the Triforce requirements for that. What we have done, however, is we have cleared out both dungeons we found of Triforce of items, so we're at least there.
Well, we finally got our first troll of the night, the small secret, being 2 rupees.
Is that a troll or just a tribute?
We're just going to buy some hints.
Buying hints is an interesting option here when you are dealing with deceptive hints. Also, jkoper going to go ahead and pick up the bait, and as I mentioned, because we're at second quest 1 through 6 and first quest 7 through 9, that means we do have 2 hungry gorillas to deal with potentially. So hey, level 9, 2 Triforces or less.
That is a great find for Antlers here. You'd probably like to have one of the 3 items here: the bow, the silvers, or the ladder. But let's start exploring now.
Well, here's the thing: is you're in 9, you're already explored there. Absolutely look through, see what you can find. I mean, if you can't get through because your ladder blocked or some other thing, that's fine. You have information now. But by far, you know you're in the vanilla first quest level 9. You know there's 2 items to find. And if those 2 items happen to be both bow and silver arrows, ka-ching, ka-ching, you win.
Now, with the hint Antlers got, it did say Manhandla threatened with the ladder. Would you take that at face value at this point if you ended up ladder blocked?
No.
Look for 3.
Nope, there's a 50% chance that that hint is absolutely bollocks because of deceptive hints. In deceptive hints, I absolutely take nothing that I have at face value. If I'm lost and looking for something, I may look back at them, but I'm not taking a hint at face value until I'm 100% out of options.
And we have a Zelda sighting.
So that's good. Straight up north to get to Zelda. That's part of the puzzle down.
All right, well, Antlers now has another important piece of information. At least one of those 2 items in 9 could still be the bow or silvers, but both of them are not in here anymore. So we have the any key.
No, fair enough. And at that point, I do agree with what he's doing here, piecing out, because you know that you're not finding everything you need here in level 9. You've already got some decent information, so I agree with this 100%. And Antler's going to go ahead and find himself yet another delicious level. And this is going to be probably 7. Yeah, this is basically confirming that we are in first quest level 7. Redbird, hide your eyes. This is 7. And we know that hint is absolute bollocks because there's no way Doria can rumble with the white sword.
Definitely. jkoper's made his way over to the Dead Woods. Not finding much of anything over there, but going to go ahead and buy a key. Already had 4, but spend some money just to make sure he doesn't go over.
Nothing wrong with that. And jkoper picking up another key there. So even though Antlers has the any key, jkoper has a 6-pack of keys, which is pretty good, all things considered.
And neither one of our runners are really going to feel the key pressure at this point.
Yeah, the only pressure Antlers is feeling is getting bopped around by those red bubbles. They were not letting him get through.
Yeah, but he has the anti-red bubble device, also known as the wand.
Hey, wand, honestly, one of my favorite items to find, especially early, especially when there's a lot of red bubbles in store, because, as you said, it's the complete anti-one, but I love it because not only can you whack people upside the head with it, it's also a projectile weapon.
Unfortunately, without a sword, getting through these Dodongos is going to be a little more complicated. Hopefully you can find a... Oh, well.
You were saying? Yeah, it looks like we're going to give that 7 a rest for right now and take a look here at the rest of them. Well, hey, look at this. All kinds of levels here. As jkoper is going to go ahead and find 7. And Antlers is in something that is not a first quest level, but what we do have is a staircase. And we do have a transport staircase there. So depending on what we see for other transport staircases and the like, we'll determine where we're at. And also, well, I suppose the map will too, right?
Map would be good. Compass is helpful at this point. Probably should go hug one of those red or blue bubbles there, Antlers.
I mean, you could do that. Or you could just do that.
That works as well.
This looks like it has the potential to be for our second quest 2. Which is the letter A. So of course with second quest 2, things you need to know. 20 rooms, 1 walkthrough walls are involved. There is 1 transport staircase and 1 item staircase. And we may have a problem here. We are Dig Dogger, so we may potentially have to take that transport staircase way back at the beginning to get around that.
Or go find a ladder.
Right, because the ladder leads to the corridor, which leads to be able to kill Dig Doggers. Or we can just, go north. Going north works too, I guess. And here's a 50-50 chance of it being the item or being the other end of the transport. It's the item, and it's extremely disappointing.
Yeah, at this point, both of the boomerangs are relatively disappointing for our runners. Having White Sword 1, not something really going to pick up unless you want to go down the meme strats.
No, definitely not. And you noticed Antlers immediately piecing out of level 2 because he knows he doesn't need any more Triforce to get into level 9. So this is a very interesting strat here. Maybe something they need is in level 7. Maybe they need to figure out the Moblin has a boomerang by a lake. We know that's a bollocks hint because, well, we know that the White Sword item was in fact the power bracelet.
Yes, our old men are lying quite a bit tonight. So we find our 3rd large secret.
Well, we are in the money for sure here. And we have got even more levels. Antlers just swimming in them.
And jkoper's going through the wonderful 7 that we found out is relatively blocked. Now, he does have his sword at this point, so he's going to clear out these Dodongos.
Right, so jkoper having sword going through here makes his exploration of 7 a little bit easier, and there's all the bombs you could ever want in this room. And let's immediately check out what we have here in this staircase. It is a transport, and this is going to be level 3, which is apostrophe L. Not just L, but apostrophe L.
Now, we did get a hint that the ladder might be in here, but we could have a lying old man here again, so we'll see what Antlers finds.
Well, I mean, you're already here, you might as well check. Of the second quest dungeons, it's actually a fairly straightforward one. It's pretty small compared to, like, the I don't want to say, you know, be rude here or lewd, but compared to level 4, which is the D. And for those of you who didn't believe me, there's the apostrophe L.
But we have the bait block in the way of that last room.
Oh, that is harsh.
We do have 3 more rooms to check down here before we have to determine...
Oh, there it is! There's the ladder! Manhandle did threaten with it. jkoper finding a bomb upgrade that he cannot afford by 9 rupees, and Antlers immediately beelining to the recorder, and I don't blame him one bit. But yeah, that's you know, quite a bit here. So we found level 1, we found level 2, we found level 3, we found 7, we found 8. So right now, level 4 is definitely something that they want to find, for the simple fact of, in second quest, level 4 is the one with 2 items. jkoper going to go ahead and take the transport staircase here in 7, just to knock that off the list. So now he does know that the next staircase he comes across here in 7 is going to contain the item. Whether it's an item he's looking for is... who knows?
At this point for jkoper, you know, doesn't know where 9 is. He does have the 2 Triforces getting in, but he spent a lot of time here in 7. If this turns out to be the yellow boomerang, the book, that's going to feel really unfortunate at this point.
It is that there is that one room up in the top corner there that looks like it appears to be dig dogger blocked. So we're gonna have to keep an eye on that. But jkoper definitely, you know, if he digs this and finds bow or silvers, that's a huge, huge advantage for him. Also, I'm not entirely sure why the game thinks this is a demon. It's definitely a hand puppet of a duck.
Yeah, I can go with that.
Oh, we've got the second bait block, but jkoper does have the bait. Opts to not use it because he's going to try to bomb in first. And Antler's going to go ahead and he's found the bow. Antlers has found the bow. So here's the question now. Do you duck out and go back to 9? And the bow is recorder blocked, so level 3 is required. Wow. That's just crazy.
You know, I think at 30 minutes in, yeah, I think you go back to 9 at this point.
I mean, you know where Zelda, and he is making a beeline for 9. I agree with this 100%. I mean, 50-50, you have one more item you need the silver arrows. There is levels 4, 5, and 6 left, so there's 3 items left out there. And plus the silver. So yeah, I like this call a lot. And jkoper, meanwhile, is still meandering his way through level 7, which, according to the official translation, is the demon. And let's see what we come up with here. He is going to go ahead and purchase the bomb upgrade. Well, he doesn't have any, so this is not only going to give him the +2 bombs, it's also going to completely refill his capacity.
That's not a great upgrade, but not having any bombs is not good either. So he's going to go ahead and pick up his Triforce here and give up on 7, it looks like.
Well, it appears to be that the item is recorder blocked. But Antler's going to go ahead here and continue the exploration through 9. Now, we've already seen 4 staircases. We've seen 1 connecting path and 2 other ones, as well as the item. And we also have this one now. So Antlers is getting down a ways on where certain items can be. jkoper, on the other hand, he's found the dungeon he needs to find. Oh, is this 2? This is 2. Never mind. This is not the one he needs to find.
As is not the item he's looking for.
Nope.
Antlers is making very quick work of this 9, trying to find that second item.
Well, it's one of those interesting things where you don't need to look for Zelda. You only need to kill things if it's in a room that is a push block or it's going to open a door. So just beelining through rooms here when you know you're looking for, just staircase rooms, it's the absolute thing to do. Just muscle on through.
And speaking of muscling on through, jkoper is taking it to these dark nuts.
It's always a fun thing to take it to the dark nuts, and he is seeing the blue boomerang and be like, nope. And Antlers has found Ganon. He just doesn't have the silvers though. He's gonna hope
The
he can
question
bomb
is,
through.
does he need to... Yeah, and he can.
He can bomb
both
out both
directions.
ways. Wouldn't it be fascinating if you were required to bomb through Ganon's room to get to the silvers?
Yeah, I don't know that we've had one of those in this tournament. We've had a lot of crazy stuff. I don't think we've had that yet.
I mean, we have had some crazy stuff. We've had some close finishes. We've had some marathons.
I don't know what you're talking about, the last one.
Well, what do you mean?
Marathons?
Like 3+ hour seeds.
So with that, Antlers is going to go south here, and another potential room that could have a staircase in it.
Ooh, jkoper finding the one-way door here, and we're going to see a double clip. Oh no, Antlers slightly messes up the double clip here. And going to go ahead and get it there. jkoper did find the item, and there's the second item in 9. It's the boomerang.
Well, that leaves us with some questions. 1, what dungeon did Antlers find the bow in? And 2, where is the silvers? We have 4, 5, 6, and 7's items still on the board.
Well, it looks like Antlers is going to go ahead and back into 7. We know he has the capability of getting to where he needs to here because he does have the recorder. So even though, he's out of 9 looking, he has a huge, huge information lead on jkoper. He knows where Ganon is. He knows where Zelda is. He has the bow.
At this point, jkoper really needs to find 9 and get that information. Or stumble into the silver somewhere.
Right, but right now he's stumbling into what was level 3. So he's at least going to stumble into the ladder here. Yes, remember we have seen the white sword item. It's the power bracelet that jkoper picked up. It was underneath the vanilla blue ring armos that is usually used in the first quest any percent route. You want a scary story, chat? All right. And then Ganon guarded the boomerang.
I mean, that's not the scariest story we've had here.
No, you're true. Well, if you really want a scary story, and then Nora found the bow.
That never happens. Antlers has made his way up towards the top of this wonderful level 7.
But the good news for him is he does have the ladder, so he can continue doing exploring the old-fashioned way and not having to dip, duck, dodge, and dive around.
jkoper grabbing his ladder. He's going to go ahead and pick the Triforce up out of here. There's only a couple rooms north. He does not know that he only needs at least 2 to get into 9, so wise play here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you don't know how much you need. It's a super easy to get Triforce. You absolutely pick that up. No need not to. But for the record, I didn't tell the scariest story of all. And it's it's 3 words, and it's the scariest story you can hear of in Zelda Randomizer. Are you ready for this, Nora?
Yeah.
7 is required.
Well, that's just horrible.
Jacob, we're going to go ahead and buy hints. We know that the wand hint was true. We know that the dig dogger hint was not true. But now with the ladder, Jacob, we're going to go ahead and check out these potential required ladder spots here. And get nothing on the first shot here, and get nothing on the second shot here.
Take another up A here. Probably head down and pick up his recorder at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. It made sense. You need to check those up there real quick. Now go get the recorder. And the question is, if you're jkoper, you don't know where 9 is. Do you do some overworld exploration with the recorder, which we know you need to do to get the bow? Or do you head back into 7 really quickly and check out that tippy top room to see what the item potential is?
He grabbed the Triforce out of 7. He hasn't been down here yet, so at least not in the full capacity. I would go ahead and kind of pick these spots off on your way through. I find the coast to be one of those spots that's just really unpleasant to route in.
Oh, I 100% agree with you. The hardest spots I find to route in are those bomb holes on by the coast, and of all things, vanilla level 1. And Antler seems to be a bit on the lost side right now. And Jess in chat, to answer your question, jkoper is playing as Trogdor.
Yeah, Antler's ducked out of 7 because he didn't have the sword to take out the Dodongos, and it was ladder blocked to the north of him.
Correct, but now he has the sword, and he has plenty of ways to get himself bombs.
And jkoper has found 9, so he's going to get the news that he is eligible to enter. Let's see how long it takes him to understand that he's not eligible to kill Ganon.
Well, I think he knows he's not eligible to kill Ganon quite yet.
Right, but the tools he needs are not in this dungeon.
The silver to kill the beast lies elsewhere, as does the letter to kill the beast.
We're not playing Sprite Shuffle.
But do we not refer to the bow as the D?
True.
Lesai.
Antler's up here in the Dodongo room that he was unable to get out of earlier, so he will be able to proceed on here.
Yeah, but he just needs to go north here and bomb to the right, and he'll be good. Now, if you do remember, we did get a hint earlier saying that level 6 was on Death Mountain. jkoper bought a hint saying that the book was potentially in 6. So I will let you figure that out. But at this point, Death Mountain does look like a likely candidate for level 6.
Definitely. We haven't seen a lot of power bracelet spots or recorder checks yet either. So lots of potential still.
Well, we did see the one recorder check that mattered. The desert spot directly to the north of the open cave. That was the level that the bow was in.
That it was.
And Antler's like, oh, hey, this oh, wait, I don't need that shiny. And yes, to answer the question in chat, the only old man that cannot lie is the one guarding level 9. All the other ones can be dirty, stinking liars.
I know Antlers doesn't need the Triforce in here, but every now and then I don't think it's a bad idea in these flags to grab them, even if you know you don't, just so you can transport back if you need to go back looking for a dungeon. Now, in this case, with Antlers, he just needs the silver, so he's not going to need to do that.
No, absolutely. I mean, the other reason you could pick one up here as jkoper finds Lord Banana in level 9 is if you need the health refill, and Antlers is looking pretty low on his hearts. And thanks, game. Thank you for the compass.
I mean, isn't the compass always behind the Triforce now?
True. I think so.
I think that's a new thing Fred added.
What I will say, though, is one of my favorite clips is the clip you just saw jkoper do. He was burning what was the normal location for second quest level 7. And I love that clip because normally what you'd have to do is you'd have to burn it from one side and then go to the other side to get to it. But if you clip into the tree, it allows you to be able to burn it and stay on the screen and enter it. That's one of my favorite clips in the game.
That's one clip I still wish I could do. It looks so neat. And jkoper is on the correct screen. He just saw the hint about the ladder. And he's now in level... Well, this is... sorry, this is where the bow is.
Yeah, this
He's
is
already
level
got the
question
ladder.
mark. Because the bow is literally right. Like, legitimately. Like, hi. Right was right in here. I don't know if Antlers took this one or not. But oh, we have a master one here. And Antlers is going to go ahead and make his way throughout the rest of level 7 here. Alrighty, continuing on, this is the room that jkoper could not get out of earlier, and now he's going to go ahead and be able to kill that big dogger and find out what's in the last room here.
Well, it's Tektites.
And here we go. It's the heart container. So Antler's going to go ahead and pick up his reward. Not the one he was looking for, unfortunately.
No, but that does leave us now with 3 dungeons to solve the puzzle.
Yeah. And from what I'm seeing there, jkoper seems to be in second quest level 4.
That means we have a second item hanging out in there, and neither one of our runners have put that together yet.
No, because we're missing the letter D and the letter Z. And Antler's going to go ahead and check the raft spot. jkoper going to go back into 9, doing the same thing we saw Antlers doing earlier, which makes sense because he hasn't found the any key yet.
And Antlers is fairly close to where the power bracelet is. He's going the wrong way for it, but interesting if he picks that up and see what leads from there. But we have another dungeon.
And do not be confused, our runners are not in the same dungeon, they are just in the same color dungeon. And this is always one of my favorite rooms, is you're only supposed to go one way through those rooms, but if you know how to block clip in tight spaces, then those rooms become really, really trivial. And yeah, we are getting, I don't want to say confirmation, but a lot of people are saying that this is 5. Oh, no, we're hearing a 4 here. See, this is why I don't play Guess the Levels in Second Quest, because I don't play enough Second Quest to know where the map layout tiles are. I just know they spell Z-E. Oh, and this is, there we go, there's the confirmation. This is level 4, so there's going to be 2 items in here. So if this is based upon the hint we got of the book being in 6, then by default, the silvers should be in here. Ooh, that's never fun. We have a blocked off Zelda's room there, so we're going to have to find a different way to get to the top level. And this side of the seed has been, you guys were asking at the beginning what the catch to the seed was going to be. The catch to the seed is apparently a Dig Dogger dance party everywhere you look.
There's that, and there's the first of our toll rooms here.
Pretty cheap toll room. Only 30 rupees required.
I mean, what, our big secret was 140 something? Yeah, we've got money. We're good.
Yeah, money for days. And, well, again, we are making our way here through level 4. Because this is Second Quest level 4, there are going to be 2 items here, and this is a room that could potentially be a staircase here in Second Quest. And hey, look at that! It's a staircase.
But it is not the item we're looking for.
No, so that means we have a 50-50 chance as jkoper doing some fancy ladder coping to get across the tea room there. Well, we know that's a lie, because Gleok did not lurk with the recorder. Nothing lurked with the recorder.
So now it's just a matter of finding the staircase here in 4, and if it's not here, then figuring out either 5 or 6, and jkoper gets the silvers aren't here hint.
There it is, right there, right
There
in front. Antlers found him. So Antlers has everything he needs to go ahead and take out Ganon. He knows where Ganon is. He knows where Zelda is. Antlers is in firm control here. So jkoper are going to go ahead and he's going to take the any roads up to Death Mountain. Unfortunately for him, this is not the area he needs to be in. He needs to head back down to start towards Candle Row. But, you know, he hasn't explored a lot up here. It does make sense from a logical world exploration perspective. Wow, I can't talk.
No, you can't. But and even more so, worst case here for jkoper is he finds the last dungeon.
Right, which we know has to contain the book.
Correct.
Ooh, Antlers did just take a couple of bops from a red bubble there, so he is going to have to find a blue one before he can go ahead and kill Ganon.
Yes, we have not seen the letter, and I do believe that we have not seen all of our take-innings, but we've seen most of them.
Right, but there's a couple of blue bubble paths on the way to Ganon here, as Antlers is clearly showing us. And Ganon's going to be right over here to the right, if my memory serves me correctly, because I remember that pattern. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, here is Ganon.
Ganon does roll plus 4 or minus, but he'll never go over his maximum.
Right, and his maximum is, of course, what he starts out with, which is the 15. And Antlers with a half a heart, but gets a beautiful stun lock there. And now at this point, Antlers just needs to go up about 3 or 4 rooms, and he'll have found himself a princess.
As jkoper's finding one of those taken, he's going to go ahead and grab the potion. Unfortunately for him, it's going to be just a little too late.
Yeah, absolutely. Antler's going to go ahead, keep going up a little bit ways, and, well, we got 2 more rooms to go through, if I'm correct. You can go ahead and machine gun all of the enemies, and there is the door popping open. So that is going to be it with an official SRL time of 47 minutes and 48 seconds. Antlers is going to find Zelda, and in addition, jkoper did in fact find the last dungeon. So yeah, jkoper did find the last dungeon up there on Death Mountain, which confirms the hint we saw earlier that level 6 was on Death Mountain, which means the book, so he knows he has to find 4. Or that's at least what I'm assuming he's looking for. And he's going to go right back to 7 and unfortunately get disappointed with the heart container.
Yeah, he will not enjoy his trip through the rest of the 7. Interesting pack kill there, though.
Oh, yeah, jkoper got himself soft locked in the like. That was weird. He had to pause and unpause. He kind of soft locked himself in the like. I've never seen that.
Oh, that was beautiful.
It was. Apparently, in level 7, pancakes eat Trogdor.
So while jkoper's digging 7 and Antlers is getting ready to join us here in the Discord, kind of give a quick rundown of the rest of the schedule that we have coming up for the Z1R tournament. So tomorrow, October 30th at 5:30 p.m. Eastern, right here on Speed Gaming, we have X Ice Blue and Jam Evil in what should be our last bracket flags match.
That should be very, very interesting.
And before I get to the next day's race, we have Antlers here in the Discord. So GG there, Antlers.
Hey, GG guys.
So first of all, 47-minute clear time with a full clear of level 7. That's impressive, sir.
Thanks. That was just for RBG. I knew he'd appreciate that.
We could all hear him shivering with fear as soon as you entered and decided to dig.
Yeah, no, honestly, when I forgot that I could bomb right, so I knew I knew that I could bomb right out of that top right room in the crest of the mouth, or like the opening of the mouth. But I thought I had, so I was like going around and I was frantic. I was like, oh no, I'm screwed now, because I'm spending way too much time in this level 7. I'm guessing he probably didn't find the bow.
He has that now. You found the ladder about 20 minutes ahead of him.
Was the ladder required? I didn't even keep track.
Yes, because you need the ladder to get to the recorder to get to the level that had the bow.
Oh, yeah, duh. Yeah, so, the ladder was in level...
We believe it's
3. Ladder was in
Yes,
3.
because I got the hint. The ladder was in level 3, and I was like, I don't know if I believe you or not. And then I found level 3, and I'm like, well, we're gonna go ahead and believe you, old man. And turned out to be the case.
Yeah, how nervous were you in that 3 when you were coming down to 2 rooms left and you saw one of them was bait blocked?
I was like, I'm gonna have to go buy some bait. I was hoping I didn't have to, because I like that's a typical jkoper move to go buy the bait. But yeah, I mean, when I found that red ring, I was like, oh wow, it is just who can mow through things faster, because I'm sure that he found that right away as well.
Yeah, you found the red ring first, he got the white sword first, but within 5 minutes you guys were fully equipped.
Yeah, I mean, like that. I mean, this seed, it was just who makes the right plays. Honestly, that's all it comes down to. Because it gave you everything, like right away. Everything that you needed combat-wise, anyway.
Yeah, I mean, the tricky part about this seed was finding the dungeons to a point where you could actually dig them, because as you saw, level 9 was 2 or less Triforces required to enter.
Yeah, I found that, and I was like, okay, we're digging 9. So my policy in this flag set generally is you find, I mean, you go to 9 until you know that 9 is not your go mode. So I found that any key, which honestly, I mean, the any key was an awesome find in 9. And then I found the bow in, I don't even know what level it was, to be honest. Maybe...
We think it was 5. We're not sure if it was 5 or 6. 5. That's all we know for sure. It was either 5 or 6.
Okay, yeah, I figured it was either level 5 or 6.
Yeah, jkoper got a hint that the book was in 6 on Death Mountain, and he did find a dungeon on Death Mountain, so we're fairly sure that was 5 for the bow.
Yeah, see, I got that hint as well, and I'm like, yeah, don't know if I'm making that Death Mountain play just quite yet. So you said he hasn't found the silvers, right? I'm guessing he hasn't found level 4.
He has not found level 4. It's the only one he hasn't found.
Yeah, and I took a really fortunate path in level 9 too. I mean, I found Zelda, and then I found Ganon pretty much right away. So that was a really, really short level 9 for me.
Yeah, all things considered, definitely a nice, short, concise level 9.
Yeah, pretty friendly. I started to panic when I got hit by that red bubble. My 3rd time in there, the time that I ended up winning. But then I remembered that the blue bubbles were right on the other end of the staircase, or at least I was thinking they were. I'm glad I was correct on that.
Yeah, I could. You got hit with the bubble, and then you paused there for just a second with the "oh crap."
Right. Yeah, because I was like, I don't have a potion.
Yeah, the frantic shuffling through the items of, oh wait, I don't have a potion.
Right.
I hope there's blue bubbles.
Yeah, I think that I only had 6 hearts, and I never took a potion because I wanted to make sure that I could get the white sword item if I ever came across it.
It was the power bracelet, and it was in the vanilla blue ring shop.
Well, I'm sure glad that I didn't find it then. I never even made it to the west side of the map. That's how crazy the seed was. I did not, like, the furthest west that I ever made it was the hint shop 2 screens west of Vanilla Start. That's the furthest west I ever went this seed.
Wow, that's crazy.
There wasn't a lot over there, so you missed the White Sword Cave, the Wood Sword Cave. There was 2 any roads over there, and level 6. That was about it.
Yeah, I mean, which, you know, like I said, I'm glad I missed that White Sword Cave, because that would have been a huge red herring and a big time sink, I'm sure.
And speaking of level 6, jkoper is in there right now, we believe.
What we do know is he's in the Pepto Pink dungeon. What we also know is he's found a staircase connector.
Yeah, I never even saw level 6. So I just pulled up the restream, and I was never in this dungeon. So I must have found the bow at a level 5. Then.
Well, yeah, we're not for sure this is 6, but based on the hint that we found saying the book was in here, that's why we're going on.
Oh, yeah, based on where he just
This
went.
is 6. This is 6. Yep. Bow was in 5.
Yep.
Or no, silvers were in 5, not bow. Bow was in. Yeah, bow was in 5.
Bow was in 5.
Silvers were in 4.
Silvers were in 4. Yep.
Stupid letters I can't spell.
No one asked you here to spell TG.
I'm still unsure why they asked me here to talk.
Pretty sure it's because you do a good job of it.
Well, I appreciate that. So, I gotta ask, your reward for taking out jkoper is now at a Genos. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, that's a great reward. just the #1 seed overall in the tournament. Probably favorite to win it all.
Who's also in chat right now, begging to start the race now.
I mean, hey, if he wants to, let's go. I could do it right now. No joke, no scam.
Well, the fun thing is about that, we do have in chat, we've got people already volunteering for commentary for that as well. So if any of you out there in speed gaming land know of a restreamer who is available, we can get this on the road.
I don't know why, but my audio is a little weird here.
No, that's just my voice.
It's coming through the wrong device.
Alrighty, so ladies and gentlemen, I have some news for you here. Redbird Grad and Crystal Saber have offered to do commentary. Narastra has just graciously volunteered to do some restreaming. We've got a restream channel, so in about 15-20 minutes, we're gonna have that race.
Let's go.
We are going to be going ahead and moving channels for that race, but we are going to have that race.
So with that, TG, I will be going ahead and heading out. Thank you so much for hanging out with me here and calling this exciting race. And like you said, look forward to seeing everyone over on Randomania as we get Antlers versus 8gen going up.
Well, hopefully we get to watch Coper finish here.
We'll let Coper finish while I get set up. So I will see y'all over there in a little while.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. We're getting the impromptu triple header tonight. So that is something to look forward to. So, Antlers, if you want to go ahead and get yourself a little bit of rest, relaxation, maybe a bathroom break before you have to go in for match 2, I would say go ahead and do that. But thank you very much, and that was a fantastic race.
Oh, I already did the bathroom break. We're good on that. That's what I needed a minute for.
Fair
Thank you, though.
No, not a problem. Figured I'd make the offer, but jkoper is going ahead here, making his way down to Canada, or also eventually he is going to find level 4, which we know contains the all-important silver arrows. Now, the fun part's going to be is if he chooses to go left immediately, he will find them immediately.
Yeah, see, that's what another thing I was freaking out about. I was like, okay, I've dug like half of this level 4, and then I go left from start. And surprise, surprise, there are my silvers. then I'm like, oh crap. So he's probably killing Ganon right now.
Nope, and he has, and he's immediately going left. He's immediately gonna be rewarded. And you guys don't have access to it, but he is in the IRC, and his only response to that is just lame. And I don't blame him on that. That is pretty disheartening.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, it was just a matter of, you know, skill did not play a big part in this race. It was who, I mean, it was movement a little bit, but it was who made the right calls, and it was knowledge. You know, like what knowledge do you find during the seed that points you in the right direction?
Yeah, absolutely. And as you said, you know, the first two items you get are White Sword and Red Ring. That takes a lot of the combat out of it. Not that I'm saying that there isn't still combat, but having Red Ring and having the White Sword makes combat immensely easier. So as you said, once you have those two items, it just becomes a matter of who gets luckier. And in this race, it was you.
Yeah, I mean, that's really all it came down to, honestly. And just looking at the restream, I just realized I only got 2 Triforces. I thought I had 3.
Nope, you avoided the Triforce in 2 and 7 when you ran across it, and you never went up to grab the 1 and 3.
Yeah, Koper, he's gonna. I'm thinking he's gonna sub 110 the seed. He's taking this first staircase, so it looks like he knows exactly where to go here.
Yeah, I believe he did find Ganon. Yep, I believe we're taking the back doorway into Ganon because you came in from the other direction.
Yeah, that's interesting. I guess maybe his first trip in, he didn't have any key. That would be.
He did not.
I
You
guess.
found any key about the time you joined us in the call. Yep, it looks like we are taking the backside into Ganon. And jkoper has, in fact, found Ganon. I am a little disappointed every time I see jkoper fight Ganon because he's Trogdor, and why Ganon isn't reshuffled into a sprite of the countryside, I'm very disappointed. But Ganon is defeated, and I don't think he actually ended up killing everything in the room with the any key. He doesn't know that's where. Never mind, he now knows where Zelda is. I was gonna say he doesn't know, but hey, there's a compass.
It's always nice.
It is always nice to find the compass. And
That's something like this tournament. I found the compass like almost every seed I've played except for this one, ironically.
No, fair enough, but jkoper running into the same problem you did there, speeding up to Zelda, and oh, darn it, there were like clicks.
Yeah, that sent my tilt meter off the charts when I got swallowed by that like because I already thought I could see a dot done any minute.
Oh, that would have been disheartening to just get liked and get in. Just the thought of that is crazy. But that is going to do it. jkoper going to go ahead and clock in with a time of 1 hour, 6 minutes, and 12 seconds. And Trogdor! If it wasn't past midnight here and I didn't have roommates sleeping, I'd go full Trogdor, but nobody wants to hear that anyway. But I'm not sure if we're going to get jkoper in here for an interview or not. But as we said, we are going to go ahead and get the next race going right on. That is, as I said, going to be Antlers here, who is in the chat with me right now, and Adaginos. They're going to get their match going on here in probably about 10-15 minutes. That is going to be right over at twitch.tv/randomania. You're going to have the wonderful Redbird Grad and Crystal Saber on commentary, so by all means, stick around, go watch that. That's going to be worth it.
Thanks, TGE. I'm going to get out of here now. I'm going to run, get set up, and we'll see everybody on the other side again.
Not a problem. And with that, we do have a jkoper here in the chat with us.
Hey guys, good game, Antlers.
Hey,
Congrats.
jkoper.
Thanks.
So before all the other things involving, the luck and dungeon searching, I have to ask, what was your thoughts when you sort of soft-locked yourself into the like there when killing the boss monster in the room for a minute?
I think that was almost worth it. The whole thing. Like, getting something like that to happen might have been worth the whole race. So, no, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that was, of all the races I've called this, that is something I have never seen. So that was definitely something to watch.
Yeah, I've played this game a fair amount and watched it a decent amount. And I don't think I've seen it. I think I've seen one or two clips that people had where something similar happened. What was really strange about what I did, and I don't know exactly what chain of events triggered it, but like I blew the recorder just like trying to do something, and then I paused and unpaused and it was gone. And I don't know why, but that was interesting.
No idea either, but it was definitely something where it was just sitting there watching, and then you're stabbing the sword, nothing's happening, and then it just randomly disappears. It was definitely the craziest thing I've seen in a long time in this.
Yeah. So this seed, I'm guessing New Game Plus, sub 10, easy. I don't know how many Triforces it took to get into 9.
2 or less.
Yeah, but one of them in 3 was absolutely free. And then, I don't know, there were a couple that weren't hard other than that one, I think.
Yeah, no, 3 was pretty easy. 1 was pretty easy.
And if you needed keys, they were really easy to get in 8 to begin with anyway, so... But yeah, go to 8, grab a red ring just for the heck of it, and take a white sword with you if you want. It's nice to have. And then, go to 3 and get the ladder. Go get the recorder. Go to 5, get the bow. Right? Is that where it was?
Yeah, 3 rooms into 5, the 1 room to the left or the right there, and 4 for the silvers. Yeah, you're not wrong. This would probably be 12 minutes tops, New Game Plus.
Yeah, just crazy. So, and I just didn't do Candle Row early. Instead, I found 7 and I said, oh, sure, let's dig this. It probably won't be that time consuming. And then I cleared every room. I got the Triforce at least. But, yeah. At least I went back to confirm that there was a heart container in there so that everyone's questions were answered.
Yeah, that 1 recorder blocked room in the top of 7.
Yeah. And then the next dungeon, which I wasn't sure which one it was, but that was 2. And it sure looked recorder blocked for the Triforce there too. Right below 7.
Yeah, I might have been. At that point, I know that both of you, I don't know if you had found it, but I know at that point Antlers had already found 9, so popped in, saw the blue boomerang, and popped out, so. Yeah, no, definitely, and even for a full clear seed, which you knew where every item was, full cleared 7, partially full cleared 9. Sub 110 still pretty good, all things considered.
Yeah, it's all right. It would have been more fun to have something in the 40s, make it competitive, but maybe it's easier to lose this way. I don't know. But Antlers is very deserving, and I'm kind of happy for him to go on because he's newer, deserves some exposure. So
Yeah, I agree. And if you want to keep up with that exposure, we're continuing this. We're having a triple header. Antlers and Genos are going to be going right now in like 10 minutes over on Randomania.
that's fantastic.
Yeah, no, it's going to be fun. So that's definitely something I'm going to look forward to. So since we are getting to the end of this here, what was your thoughts on the whole? I mean, I know you're part of the admin team, so you guys are part of the initial discussion here. But with the Pentaforce flags initially, and then the random Triforces, how do you think overall this whole thing played out?
Man, I'm not a big fan of random Triforces, especially for a best of one. There's just not there's a lot of luck involved in just finding the stuff to kill Ganon. And finding 9, I guess, sometimes. But it's been a really exciting tournament, that's for sure, and lots of crazy things have happened. So if that's what we were going for, then great. Lots of interesting things to happen for the viewers, but it's often been really frustrating for the racers, I'm sure. It has been for me. But yeah. All right. Well, I think we should head over to Randomania and get this whole crowd over there too.
I 100% agree. So thank you all very much for watching. Again, great race here. Good back-to-back races there. So from jkoper, again, thank you all very much for watching. So on behalf of both of our racers, Antlers and jkoper, our tracker behind the scenes, Crimson Avex, my broadcast partner, Narastra, who is now going to set up the restream for the other race, and myself, The Green Effect. Thank you all very much for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. Now, go on over to twitch.tv/randomania and watch Genos versus Antlers. Go do it.